There we go. All righty. Turn up everything. Hello, I am Brenda Jean Power. This is Medicine Woman Solution, and this is my show where your soul has the solution. So understand when I spell solution, it isn't just S-O-L-E or S-L-S-O-L-U. It's S-O-U-L. Just switch those two around. And then it's solution. It's solution. A little play on words, but I'm a metaphysician. And I help people to learn what they didn't get to learn when they were little, which is how to cope, handle a deal, and pacify. We have to help our littles and ourselves to really change who we are so we can make a difference with how we create our future. So the title today happens to be OMG, my life is out of control. Is there anything I can do? Okay. I'm decided that you listen to spirit. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to get, let's see, how am I going to put it? When you allow yourself to step into the driver's seat of your own life, that means that you are not going to go inside your head and think and let all your programs from your subconscious mind of all your past drive the bus about how you want to react, because you can heal that. About how life's coming at you and you feel like you can't control that. You can heal that. You have to come to the realization that if you're sitting going, oh my God, you're in the back seat and you're looking at nobody's at the wheel, but yet you're yelling at somebody to, oh my God, just look away. Don't do it. Don't go there. Don't take that thought that way. Just let it go. And you really think somebody's in charge. When somebody says no to you, you feel this authority and this power. Fine, I feel defeated. I feel I can't. And yet you're feeling like the car is driving 100 miles down the road real fast and nobody's driving and it doesn't know where to look and it's not a good self-driver. But that's what we do. Our programs run us like this. And we sit back and we don't know how to respond. We don't know how to take care of that. I just want everything to be okay. I just want everything to be okay. You know what shock is. You're pretty good at that. You know what OMG, oh my God is. You're pretty good at that. But it's time. It's time to understand that you can use the body. If your body is running the program and you're just feeling like you're defeated, you're out of control, did you know that your frontal lobe creates reality? And did you know that you're electromagnetic and just doing this just helps you sit there for 2 or 3 minutes breathing, focusing? You intentionally focus means you're taking the driver wheel and you're focusing on how you know your life. And by just doing this, letting the blood go back up to your forebrain, because right now 80% of it's going, need to fight. And you've accepted, and the moment you accept it, you just said, here's my will. Go ahead and do whatever you want. I want you to stop that. I want you to take your life force back. I want you to start feeling, yeah, I can do this. I can do this. And we need to get you to come back home. We need you to say, my name is, and then your age. My name is, and then your age. Do that 3 times so you give yourself this permission to be in this fixed state. So you can say, okay, all these thoughts are trying to tell me something. What if I wrote them down? Not in a diary of going, oh my God, no, what is it saying? Really observe, what are your thoughts really saying? Because when you begin to observe how your thoughts really, what they're saying, you can start taking control, because there is a certain way of measuring them. And there's an emotion attached. And I help you to remove that emotion. I help you transform out that energy. I help you let the memory become a memory. You can do it. You really, really, really can. So Spirit has me doing a couple things. And some of it has to do with doing my show differently. So I'm in the driver bus trying to decide where I'd like this to go. And a lot of you, if you haven't noticed, do you even, are you checking, is this the right things? Who am I? So I'm a medicine woman. I can feel it from a past life. I could feel that was super important. I felt like It was me. It was something that was, how do you want to call it? It was, I don't like any of that. So you take symbols of what that feels like. And it feels right at first, but that's because you don't know who you are. It'll feel right at first, and yet it won't. So you've got to decide, how does that look? How does that even look? And so the medicine wheel meant something to me. I could feel it, that past life. I could feel that I was that part of seeing things that others couldn't see. And I learned how to know I know I know. Now, that is the best part, is to know how you know. Now, a lot of people are saying, it is not. Yes, it is. If you don't know your voices, which voice is which? Okay, do you understand this? Which voice is which? And a lot of times I have to help people understand what that means. If you can hear your thoughts, do you think you're in charge? Just think about it. Do you think you're in charge? Do you? We want to be. We have the scenarios we play in our head. We fight and think, I'm going to win the next fight. I'm going to be able to do that. I'm going to. So you run to the end of your timeline. You do your best to figure it out. And you're brave in your head, but not in the moment of when it's real. So what can we do? What can we do? There's a lot you can do. You can begin to notice. Now, wait a minute. I'm brave in my head, but I'm not brave on the outside. And I don't like the outside. So to me, that's an enemy. Well, do you want an enemy? Because the energy that's inside of you vibrates out. If you have fear that you're going to be attacked, what do you think you're going to put out? Even though you have fear, you have love. So if fear and being attacked is a 10 and love is a 2, which one do you think people are going to read first? Just think about it. Which one do you think people are going to read first? And that's what you have to pay attention to. That is what you have to decide. Okay? Look in here. I'm hearing with my voice, and yet, stupid thing. I'm hearing my voice, but whose voice is it? Is it my fear voice? Is it my ego voice? Is it my spiritual voice? I usually say there's 2 things, okay? There's 2 things. And these 2 things have to do with paying attention, because your awareness is that you're an immortal soul having a physical experience, but you can have a spiritual physical experience. So this is why when I help my students, they become spiritual humans. They are that essence of all that is, that has been dreaming. And as that spirit part wakes up and looks at its recorder, the soul, it begins to realize that it needs to awaken. As it begins to awaken, it has the ability to see. Do you understand so far? So you really got to decide. You really got to decide at that point, did you hear any of those words I just said? Why is that super important? You understand what I just said. So I will often repeat myself because I want you to paraphrase. I want you to get it. Okay? So one more time. You have a human form. So you have cells, and you have trillions of cells, and you don't just have one, you have trillions. So you are a society within. And within that society, who's driving the bus? You are an immortal being, the essence of to which all that is operating through this system, this body's consciousness, and you've forgotten. And because you've forgotten, the programs, the ability to pick up and how to function in where you're at, your recorder, your soul, has its memories, but it picks up how to function. But we forgot that we're spirit. So then we go in and we have life, and then life is what we think it is, but you're not driving the bus, because if you feel defeated, then you gave your power away. You feel all these aches and pains. You never learned how to resolve those. So you are a spiritual being having a physical experience with your humanity, the community. How is that relations? You, that's beaming supposedly love, and it's a 2, but you're beaming it in this 2 seconds, but the rest of the time the programs are saying you're beaming pain, fear. So what do you think you're going to see around you? Your inner world creates your outer world. So it's time to awaken, meaning the spirit needs to realize that it is immortal. It needs to awaken, and it needs to look at things differently. That means I have to stop being my false self. I have to stop being my ego self. And when you can hear the difference between your ego self and your spiritual self, you're going to find one is about love and one is about fear. And one programs you to go to hell, and you drive yourself there yourself. You're like, oh my God, no one's home driving the bus. You are being defeated. Your life is out of control. You don't know how to cope, handle, and deal with what's out there that's coming at you. But if you start to take and soothe and self-regulate, and it isn't about, no, it's not suppressing, overcoming. It's about using the body and the body's awareness to be able to work together. So you and the innate intelligence, your soul has the answers. You just have to learn how to apply them. And you are an immortal being that now needs to awaken and then come home, get in the line with who you really are in this fixed state in this moment. You can do this. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to. That's just an option. You get a handle on how you can just do OMG, EFT, hope therapy, source points, all of it. And you're going to realize you can drive the bus, and you can drive it well. You really can. So you've got to decide. How do you want to do it? And most people don't realize that they can. You've got to decide. Now, how do you decide? Well, first of all, wake up. Feel the urge. Do the programs tell you to go back to sleep and feel like crap? What do you hear? What did you notice? Seriously, what have you noticed? Because if you began to notice, hold on, I can hear my own thoughts. I can make the choice. I can what? Oh, and that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thor just says, I didn't realize what she meant about it and being an option. I now realize in healing myself. Yes. Those small epiphanies begin to help create your world. And if you're choosing to create, what are you going to do? Do you want to keep creating hell? Do you want to keep creating crappy shit? But you're like, but I didn't create that. But you agreed upon it. Your soul wanted to learn something. Now you have to wake up and decide, why did you do it? And a lot of it has a lot to do with, we didn't know we were doing it. We didn't know we had the choice. We can get our power back. We can get our will back. We can choose to create something that we haven't created before. Yes, yes, and yes. There's a lot of beautiful stuff that you can do. A lot. And it's up to you. It's up to you. What do you want to do? You had some huge epiphanies last night. When you think about an epiphany, okay? So let's put it this way. What have you heard me say? What have you noticed? I want you to be, because I used to have an inner anxiety, I thought I had to live with it. She's awakening. Did you hear that? Did you hear that phrase? Because I used to have inner anxiety, that means that she's starting to realize she has the choice. She's learning to observe spiritually that is just an option. I thought I just had to live with it. That's what we thought. I mean, if you really begin to hear, you sound defeated, and those emotional chemical peptides are telling you that you sound defeated and that you feel like you are. But is it really true? No. She says, oops, hold on, Seymour. Come on, open. Until I healed out some stuff, and now I don't feel that way no more. See, she measured, she witnessed, she knew. Try this. Worst thing, it doesn't work. but it's awesome. And remember, you have one more step. Remove the word try and say, do this. Give yourself permission to do this because your brain is waiting for you to say go. It's waiting for you to say go. So it's up to you. Beautiful, beautiful thought. Now, you can't say, well, this don't work for me. But when you do, okay, so what does that mean? Let me just get this thing up here. When you use the word try, it's an attempt to doing. And it's not something you really should be removing from your world because you did do attempt and you did not get the efficacy, the end result that you were looking for. Okay. But when you tell yourself that you're going to try it in a relaxed conversation, what are you really saying? Your brain does not hear go. It just says try. Okay. If I put my hand out and I say, try to touch me, you're like, I can't because it's a screen. Oh, yeah, smart ass. But if you were in front of me and I asked you to try to take the pen, you reach and I said, no, that's action. Try is not action. Your brain thinks that way too. So how are you programming yourself? And we have such flippant speaking, we don't pay attention when we say, hey, I'm going to try that. There's no firing and wiring. So you didn't say to yourself, I believe I can do it and I'm going to go. No, I'll try that. And then what happens is that you try by saying it and you only think about once. Then what happens is inside is if you imagine your dendrites, the way your brain thinks, are trees. They're magic trees with branches. And the more you think about it, the more you really put time and effort and love in it, you got all these branches. But when you say, I try, and what happens is nothing grows. And then they just like spuried branches and things fall. And something called the glial cells will come along, the microglial cells will come along and sweep up and clean up and prune those thoughts that you choose not to engage in. And then you forgot. It is in the act of being aware that I want to not just think it, I want to feel it. Because you ever worry, you're really putting your emotions to it, you're really putting your thoughts to it, you're really, really, really doing that in such a deep way that you didn't pay attention how much energy, how much your belief, the belief is a huge thing, how much energy, how much, oh my God, you really believe it's there. And then you go and you say, well, I believe I can do this. But in the back of your mind, subconscious mind says, well, I have conflict and I had in the past and I couldn't do it before. So then that tells me I probably can't do it again. And then you try to use logical reasoning to be able to do something you can't do because that's what you told yourself. But when you take and you say, I'm going to do this regardless of that noise, and I'm going to be just driving the bus, and every day I'm going to apply, I'm going to discipline, I'm going to do this. Discipline isn't being mean, but it's a doing. It's taking the action of doing. And all of a sudden you look back and you're like, I did it. And that's because you didn't take your eyes off what you wanted. No more of this, oh, I can't. If you say you can't, go heal it out. Just go heal it out. Because you are an amazing being, and it's time for you to realize unity, all of yourself, spirit, body, and soul. You've got this. You really, really do. And so you have a choice to decide how you want to do it. And when you decide how you want to do it, you're going to allow yourself to be this amazing person. See, if you give yourself 5 minutes now, and you start right now, and every day you chunk at it and you may forget a day or two, but you keep doing, discipline, keep doing, because the end result's so important to you. And as you keep doing, and then all of a sudden 5 years from now, you're in an amazing place that you didn't know you could be. You go look back 5 years from now, and you've got 5 years under your belt. I remember when I wanted to be, this, but I didn't know what this was. And I was like, oh my God, I wish I already knew it now. Really, I wish I already knew it now. And it was quite amazing to keep thinking and hearing that. And oh my God, people are going to think I'm an idiot. I just started out. It's only been doing it for a month. Oh my God, I've only been doing it for a year. And now it's been over 30 some years. And boy, do I have beautiful stuff that has come in such a long ways from where I was. And it's been an incredible, beautiful journey. And I'm looking back going, wow, I had no clue. I am happy. I mean, the more I kept healing, the more I kept evolving. Yes, things had to crumble, just like when you go to remodel a kitchen, you got to take those cupboards out, you got to paint, and you got to destroy things and move things and add things. And it's amazing when you add color, and amazing how you put something in that is not going to break. And it's because your power of your choice, the power of what you're doing, what you're investing in, and what you're choosing. And you can do that with your life. You literally can do it with your life. And once you begin to notice this, you will allow yourself to, how do you want to put it? Become more in charge. So when you're in that car in the back seat and the steering wheel's, going all over the place, and you just like, oh my God, I'm in traffic, and you're screaming and you're hollering and you feel defeated. You feel like you have no choice. And this is what you got. This is what you get. I want you to feel that strength within you going, I got this. I got this. I freaking got this. Because without that knowing, without that growing, you're not going to allow yourself to move in such a way that is important for your growth. You just thought you had to take life on. You have to feel defeated. You have to do all that. Oh, but I'm scared. If that's a 10 and you're putting out and saying no to the world that I'm love, but you're scared and you can feel it and you know it, that's a 10. What does that mean? What does that mean? It simply means you got to decide if that's what you want to do. You want to be in fear and con yourself that life is good when in fact it's not. What are you going to do? Listen to yourself. How do you do it? You got to decide. You got to decide. How do you do it? How do you do it? I know I sound like a broken record, but every day I'm going to come on here and I want you to understand that it's important to love yourself. It's important to get yourself. The recorder needs to start hearing you say, I've got this. And I'm going to just smack fear to the curb. I'm going to make a better choice. And you're not going to just say it and try to give you a pep talk. You literally allow yourself to be in an amazing space. And if you wake up in the early morning, you get to choose, which energy do I want to put out today? But most people don't. They wake up and they think to themselves, oh my God, I got to go to work. I got to do this. I got to do that. Oh my God, I didn't get enough sleep. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So is that what you really want? So my birthday's coming. And so I just want to take this for a second. And things that I've said, you have listened. Oh my God, I got these amazing cords. I know it sounds silly, but for my phone to work, and they are super long and they're durable. And thank you. I know I don't usually like to put out there anymore about what people give me, but holy shit. Some of this is I got no one to tell but my husband, and I think he's kind of tired of it. I love phoenixes. Somebody's been paying attention. So that means I think part of you is going to wake up in such a way that you're going to start looking at your own life. You're going to know. And the idea of giving back and loving and sharing is such a reward in itself. And you see that pendulum right there on a stick? Mm-hmm. That's kind of cool. I was holding on to it. And I know how pendulums work because it's electromagnetic pulse. But I got it to move without really holding on to it. That was cool. So now this is like my pendulum corner and spheres. I got some privates or unmentionables because my bra had broken during the show. I always complain about my bra. So this is hilarious. But you guys were listening. I got a phone stand now that instead of me using blue tack and other shit to hold it up, It actually is holding itself up. I mean, like, this is a great stand. And these little things mean so much to me because you're not just sitting and watching. You feel like you want to give back. And this is why the show is important, because let me tell you why. It's not about things. It's about how you express your love. It's how you give to the world. It's how you help. And if you begin to become aware of that, then the expression of love, and I know who gave it to me, and I thank them, I just thank them. I just like, and what happens is, because I learned a long time ago, when somebody says, no, you can't, don't buy me anything, you're sitting there going, but I feel compelled that I want to. And the gift is not really about the person receiving it. It's about how you receive it. When you look and you do things quietly, and the random act of kindness of doing things in the store, like I'll quietly try to say to the cashier, put this money, I know it's not much, but put it on the person that's behind me. Just take that. It's like, add that. So whatever it is, minus that much off the, what? And half these people are in shock. And next thing you know, they're screaming it out, and the people already know behind me. It's like, no, this is supposed to be quiet. And then the act of receiving, when I saw how happy they were, dang, that brought me joy. I could still be anonymous. So when people send me presents, I just, I know my birth is coming, and send me presents, I make a video. And then once I find out who did it, I send it to them so that they can see how much I enjoyed it. And you should have seen me when I was opening my elementals. Oh, well. It shows you kind of the beliefs. You're like, oh, it's just, I mean, look at, this is a sunstone. It's so pretty. I have lots of pendulums. But let me tell you, it's like one of my favorite things, but I never had one of these. I'm like, good call. Spirit had to have been with them when they created these, or went shopping. And when you see a need, sometimes you feel it. Like I was working yesterday, I'm typing away, and the next thing I know, is that it's like, hold on, I need to ask a person a question. So I asked them nonchalantly what they wanted to do, and the next thing you know, they go, I'm in a bit of a bind, and I'm sorry. I'm like, no, don't be sorry. And me being who I am, so I sent out, I sent some answers. I could do soul coaching, and then the shit show that they were running on, they got control. They got that turnaround time. And it wasn't one person, it was two. I didn't realize I was helping two. I just know that I was like, oh, hey, how you doing? And when they gave me the recorder back, you're not going to believe this. You came in at the right timing. And I know that Spirit has said, thank you so much. And so then they give back. And they give back in the way of sharing. They give back in the way of gifts. They give back. And it's just like, whoa. How did you learn how to receive? How did you learn how to say thank you? I used to be really bad at it. And now I'm so thankful for it. Yes, everything is so important. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, TP, for commenting. Commenting helps create this, what do you call it? This ability to help social media, help you expand, sharing it out. As you share it out, other people get to experience it. And for the first, back in 2003, and I think it went on from like 2010, 2012. Yeah. Nobody wanted to share me. They just wanted to keep me for themselves. The best kept secret. Oh, I just keep it for myself. I don't want anybody. And they didn't want to share. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Where is it I didn't want to share? And I've always shared. But where is it I would see that people didn't want to share. And that was in my family. Those are the programs. And I needed to change that. I needed to heal that within me of how I knew this. And so Carter says, if you and my mother have the same birthday, we got to chat. I'm on the 23rd of July. I'm on the 23rd. That's a beautiful song. Sunshine on My Shoulders make me happy. Absolutely. No, TT is not live. I had recorded a few things to start bringing people in. Amy says, I did something yesterday. She says, I'm aware of my little self. Thought was helping. So we have a program, and thought I was helping. Didn't know I slipped into a program. And so this was, again, how do you slip into programs? If you're doing it with love, I can do this. But if your littles are in charge and they don't quite understand the flow of business or the flow of work or the flow of whatever it is, but you're taking those old programs of how you did it. She says, I slipped into a program. I had no clue that my actions would hurt this person in any way. When they told me why I went into shock, and Brenda helped me heal shock from when I was 18, didn't even know I was holding that shock. See, that's important to hear what she just said. Okay, let me tell you what happens. Ready? So we're taking a fresh live experience, and she said that she had went in, done something, didn't realize it was an old program. She thought she was doing good and all of this, but it's a personality that no longer serves. It actually can interfere and hurt others because your little self had no idea. So how do you handle it when you're adult? Okay. So when this person shared it with them, and they didn't do it in a mean way, but your littles is going to hear it in a mean way, and you're going to take, and she went into shock. So I said, okay, let's get you out of the shock. Now, as we have an anchor here that we're working on shock, you are actually beginning to heal the past because it happened before. You have an opportunity to basically create a wormhole right there, an entanglement cord to right at that moment, and you can heal this. So she says, I went into shock, and she says, and then all of a sudden I was working on my 18-year-old self that was in shock. Now, she didn't have to remember it. Her body recalled it for her. And I had no idea I was holding shock. But because it was a fresh experience to feel those deep levels with the thoughts and the feelings, and the body that sits there and couldn't process at the time, because we're really good at suppressing, she was able to take the moment she was in her hell, use the tools and source points and whatever we did. And what happened was that she was able to heal all the shocks, including the 18-year-old that popped up into her mind of how she knows what shock is. And the turnaround time was great. We worked on it. We had some insights. We did what we needed to do. But how do you know? Because all of a sudden you're a shit show, and your brain's telling you and your body's telling you, and you feel like you can't drive the bus, and shit's happening. You feel defeated. Oh my God, you go there. But when you start moving the energy in the body, getting the energy in the brain, clarity comes. And when you get the blood moving and you get everything moving, clarity comes. When clarity comes, the emotions calm down. What happens? Freedom. You just learned how to heal yourself. Self-help, self-empowerment. You learn. Like I'm teaching Source Point class right now, and they're going to learn. Because you're like, well, you said not to use a pendulum or doing this, that when you're in shit shows. But I'm going to show you how to do a fast stage. Yes, you can. I'm going to show you how to get there. I'm going to show you how you can affect your world and how you can make a difference without having to go crazy. But you can return to peace, even if crazy's happening. You have the ability. Total time was 45 minutes of being in hell. Good job. Instead of weeks, months, and years, and another 20, 30 years. Good job. You got this. And you can make a major difference in your world if you allow yourself to become awakened. You're an immortal being that's learning how to awaken. And when you learn how to awaken, and you'll learn how to know how you know, the differences in the mindsets. See, a lot of people will tell you to do this, this, and this, and this, but they don't tell you about the different mindsets. They don't tell you these different mindsets have different ways of using your brain. They have different ways of using your brain waves. And you can learn how to balance the brain waves, and you can learn how to awaken with your spiritual self to begin to notice, oh, no, I don't need to think that. The power of choice, instead of saying, oh my God, that's true. You're like, it doesn't have to be. You get to change how you know. And when you begin to do that, it becomes a beautiful thing. When that happens, It's okay to let the benefits of love come through. So what happens when the benefit of love comes through? And well, since she went through it, let's find out what she says. So because of the lag, we're going to have to wait a bit. But this show is about giving back. This show is about giving to you, helping you find a space. This show is about causing you to realize that you don't have to be in pain. Suffering is just an option. This show is about self-help, self-empowerment. This show, you have so many benefits that comes out of this that you have no idea. You have no idea. She said the beauty of having a friend that doesn't judge you for being in such a state that you know what you need to do, but yet you don't. You want to, and she sends a voice message. What's the power of a friendship? I know that someday I'm going to teach a very specific course about social intelligence. And social intelligence has everything to do with how to be a spiritual human, how to use the third option, how to actually be your spiritual self into this world. You lose the judgment and you gain discernment, and that level of awareness allows you to do an act of respect. Two different opinions. Going, I have to hate you. You don't believe the way I do. That's the paradigm. Cancel, clear, delete that. You can go into another state and go, and I understand. And this is where a lot of people are going to go, well, I don't understand, and I need you to think the way I think. Well, if I can't do it, you can't. You need to look at your personality and ask yourself, is there part of you that wants a happier, healthier life? Which personality is stopping you from having that? It's a time to take responsibility. It is time. It really is. Okay, so now I'm going to look to this, and I'm going to look to your comments. How can you give back? This now, the energy on the planet is about energy exchange, making sure we're not taking advantage of people, making sure that we just don't take because we feel poor. What can we give back? Even the lady that said that she went to church and she could only give what she had remaining, she gave more than the people that had much. And I remember sitting there, and when I'd be studying that, I'd be like, well, what does that mean? What does that really mean? And it's not that you have to give everything you have so you're poor. It's because you're so excited you give, you know that you trust and you have faith, and the universe has your back. And the universe has proven to me over and over. It doesn't have to prove to me, but the more that I say, oh my God, I got out of that hell loop, and I began to drive my bus by claiming who I am, and I realized I have this choice. I can heal this, or I can sit in the shit. Show me how to heal it. And then as the world is falling apart, I ask Spirit always to show me how we're getting out of it. And I will hear crap on the news, and I don't listen to news, but when Spirit wants me to hear it, there's a reason. And all of a sudden, a few days later, or maybe a week later, there's the answer that has overpowered it. There's the answer. Instead of losing our power, we have taken it back. We have losing our power, we take it back. And we're starting to realize we can create better. So there's always an answer. So I don't have to hear this doom and gloom. I don't need to line up myself to other people's reality, because you have multiple timelines that is offered to you. You can even make trajectory timelines. You can do all these things. But it depends on your emotional mental state that you are operating through to what you see. So when your inner world, I woke up this morning and it was like, okay, what vibration do I have? And I'm like, ooh, I can feel love. How do I know that? Oh yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm just feeling the love, and I'm just bathing myself in this one feeling. And I allowed myself to stay there as long as I could. And then I got up and I was singing, let the sun shine. I can't sing that out loud because Facebook will shut me down. But, things like that. Hello, birdies. Hello, tweet, tweet, tweet. Yes, doing silly things. Allowing myself to feel my hum, to feel my joy, to feel my happiness. So you can make a major difference in your world if you let it. A major difference in your world. How do you start your day? So if I wake up going, oh my God, I got out this is hell that happened the night before and it hasn't been resolved. And my brain, my left brain wants to take all the details and make a bigger picture. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Well, you can take control of that. So I'm like, oh my God, there's a sensation that it's dread. So I can sit there and I can hold dread, or I can tap out dread. Oh, that feels better. Oh, wow, I just changed my feeling. I did it myself. Okay. Oh yeah, I got to take and do that today. I'm not really happy about it. Oh wait, how do I know that? On a scale from 0 to 10, 10, I'm not happy. Hold on, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at this happy, this sensation, this unhappiness, and I heal it out. I don't have to be driven by those emotional chemical peptides of those programs from the past. But you have to understand that you have the power to change it. So what do you want to do today so that I will give to you? What do you want to do today? What can you do? So we started this thing. We're not sure what it's like, but we could put, we'll give readings, but you got to decide if you want it. Because I have bumped into so many people that say they want it and then they just leave. And then I'm expending this energy to nothing. Maybe somebody needed to hear somebody else's reading. Okay. But I need to know that you want it. I need to know that, if you're doing a show, share out my name, give a witness, send me the video so I can see. Autumn says, I'm working on a gift of a painting right now. But we'll say I haven't worked on it lately, and it kept saying, I'm going to paint, but end up sleeping or doing other things. Yeah, because notice that you want it. It's a thought. And where is the motivator? Where's the drive? When you wake up and say, this is what I'm going to do today. How am I going to do it? And you start thinking about, I'm going to do this. Now, if you're not quite in line, then you have to be okay with that. But go after it. Go after it. And you go after it. And how would you do it? What can I do today to make sure that I do this painting? It's not just buy things, but I'm going to get the colors out. Okay, I'm going to do all these other things. I need to make sure the paintbrushes. And eventually you go in the other room and you're like, what if I had that color? What if I did this? Turn on the operator, the resolver, the creator part of you that says it's going to do it. No, you're going to say, feel the act of doing it, the joy. I remember the last time when I did, if I did this, start thinking with yourself in a way that's about creativity, because then you start bringing in your spiritual selves that creates a motivation. So Autumn will be on her show and she'll share. She sends me videos. This is what my name is. This is what I've said to you. But sharing the experience. Just don't throw out her name. What can you do to give back? How can you help the world to change? How are you making a difference? Allow yourself to know that you can really help. You can really help. So who's all here? I know there was a lot of people that come and gone. But it's up to you. It's up to you. And it's good to see that people are talking. That's excellent. Good to see this. Epiphanies. It's all of these. Good. So what can we do? Hi, Amber. Amber goes out and shares, and Amber goes and tells people. Amber goes out and lives her life by the healings and the teachings, and she is shifting her world. Thor says, I want to learn something I can do so I can get rid of my attachment to my animals and everyone forever. So can I help? So I can help heal others. I want to learn something I can do so I can get rid of my attachment. So she's looking at the way she knows something, and she has a feeling that there is a way that it may be an issue about what she wants. So she's looking. So with that, I would need to explore. What can I do? What can I do? Yes, you can give stars. That's a good point. And I know that if you don't have it right now, but what can you do? That, talking into the room, sharing it out to people, that is huge. Because in order to really get this movement going, they show me that who wants it? Who wants it? Who wants it? So if I take and I look at Thor, one of her main issues, because I asked Spirit, says, so what is this? If you take that sentence of what she said, and I said, Spirit, give me the answer to what she had said, is that she has to learn how to stop being fawn. That means fawn is the fact is that when you were stressed, you fight, flight, freeze, or you fawned. It was a way to survive, it was a way to take care of yourself. And the body, when your body fawns, even though it's about people pleasing, you're still in a state of stress. And because your body's in a state of stress, it doesn't realize that the things that you're doing could be the act of evolving. But if the baseline is stress, or how fawn started, needs to be changed. Because if you're doing things for love and you're doing it, like I can be considerate, is really considerate, but who am I really hurting? Sometimes I just hurt myself and I don't realize it. I need to stop that. I need to change that. Thank you, Thor. And I know you have shared daily, and that you're telling people because you know it works for you. And when you are doing your job with the animals, you're actually helping the people. Well, see, now the thing is Thor says, well, how can I do that? Now, first of all, you're awakened. I know there's something in my life that doesn't sit right. I'm going to use my ability and my spiritual mindset and to listen to how I ego think. And that means you have to pay attention. Oh, God, I didn't like how that person was the other day. There you go. Write it down. How do you know that? Is it less than love? And when it came to being a fawn, I ended up being, that's how I survived. My mind, as I started to really heal, I could hear it goes, well, I don't know if they'd like me. How do you know that? Go heal that. Oh, I got to fight back. I got to do this. I got to fight. Write that down. Heal that out. All your life force is buried into those stories in the past. You cheated, my friend told me. But however spirit tells you to awaken and see it, that's good. Now, here's the thing. You can learn with a whisper, because you don't have to wait for the bitch slap. You don't have to wait for the bitch slap. You don't have to wait. That's the thing. You don't have to wait. Now, what makes me a different type of reader is that I care about you, and I want you to get rid of your stress. Now, TP, you know what you wrote onto YouTube was beautiful, but what thought made you to remove it? You can heal that. You can heal that. So TP, the reason, and whatever your ego went in and said it's this, and this, and this, and this, oh, second guess this, and this, all overcompensated, and then she removed it. Spirit wants you to do L3D because you have a phobia. And she says, I oopsed it removed. Okay, but still the phobia is still running. It's still there. So now I want you to notice that there's an energy that's connected to it. And there was some type of dread. L3D it. TP. There you go. Now, you don't have to. At this point, all you have to do is heal. That I took it off. Take that breath and go, that happened. There's no blame. But look at how you operate. Look at how you do things. Why did she get it? She's talking on YouTube. She's sharing it out. Here's a woman that don't have much, but man, does she like to talk about Medicine Woman Solution. She loves how it works. She applies it the best she can for her life. And when you, okay, L3D, yes. Left wrist, third position, nice and deep. These programs run you and control you. I'm going to have a class, and I recommend highly that you think about this. I'm going to be putting together something. I can see it in my head. It's not quite formed. I'm trusting spirit. But it is learning how to be in charge of yourself, learning how to take care of your shit shows, learning how to address certain emotions that you don't even know are running, teach you how your body communicates with you as a program. And as you start to do this, we're going to do healings. It's not just teaching you. It's to help you engage and involve in knowing. And what's going to happen is you're going to start getting clarity. And in this class, you're going to start to grow. And you're going to affect the 4 ingredients to life: the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. You are going to make a difference in your world. Simply by asking. Stephanie says, may I get a 1 minute, please? Yes. Now, what would you like to do to earn that, to share energy exchange? Is there anything particular that you want to talk about? Is there something you just want to, just a cold read? I had this beautiful person that was going through a hell, and Spirit didn't let me in on it because it wanted the other person to communicate. So as soon as they communicated, I knew where to go, because Spirit wanted them to involve themselves. And this is about the new world. Career guidance. All right. So now I'm going to ask, is she on the right path? She's starting to. And I'm getting this feeling state. I'm getting this feeling state that has to do with feeling that life's unfair. Now that's going to interfere with your ability to have a career. Your feelings of life's unfair. And there's a certain amount of anxiety that's in the body that says that, oh my God, and it affects you. And it's so strong that you don't realize that it affects your life, your career. And what you do to that is you approach your career toward yourself. You're kind of feeling very self-conscious, maybe a little naked, a little, oh my God, what are they going to think about me? What kind of thoughts? She said, yes, I want you to begin to heal this, because you don't need to do and be in that. But look at how you know this. Oh my God. As she begins to think, if she doesn't use her tools, she's going to firewire that shit in her body, and she's going to keep going down that road. If she grabs the left wrist, first position, nice and soft, and she takes and places the palm and drops her hand, she can sit there and she starts feeling all of those things she was just thinking. And it's connected to how there's profoundly deep unrequited love, meaning she wants to do her career and she wants to do what she loves, but she has these things in her way that doesn't feel like she's getting love back from what she does. And she can even equate it to people. She loves people, but they don't love her. You can equate it even further. But how do you know when you're holding this and you're like, oh my God, I know when I register that feeling, your mind, you're in agreement that you're going to start resolving out stress. I would love to do the stars wheel. I don't know who's got money and who don't. And it's about, do you have $1? Do you have 100 stars that you can donate that can put you into the wheel? If you can donate 100 stars, then we can start playing the game. Like Linda gave 50. She could just add 50 more stars and her name will be in the drawing, and she may be the only one that wins. And she has an opportunity. Shit, you should have seen her last week. We were cruising with healing. So if you want an opportunity. Now, I don't want you just to win and then you can't connect. I need you to come alive with me. I want you to be, see, now she's in. She's got herself a ticket to win. If nobody else plays, she just won. And she's going to come on. Now, you don't have the video, but you can have audio. I need to be able to have this, to give back so that other people can hear it and understand it. It's getting there. It's going there. Good job, TP. Good job. So when you begin to notice this, you can do something about it. How much do you want it? I watch people that they go and they invest in what they care about and what that makes them feel safe or makes them feel going good. Amy's in the game. Now we have Amy and we have Linda. Come on. Let's do this party. Let's find out. You put your name in a drawing. What do you get? You get time with me. You don't have to put your face up, but just have your voice in there so I can have real-time interaction to do some helping you heal or to help you connect. And Linda says going deeper, going live allows you to go deeper in the healing. It's a beautiful way to connect. And I watch Linda. Her growth is happening. Stephanie gave me thanks with an amen. Wonderful. What else can you do? Feel that. Enjoy it. Don't just take the words. Go and apply it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And as you begin to apply, what's going to happen? You're going to start healing yourself. So I hear Christina Collins says, here's the thing. So she said, okay, so it says, check out some of the videos you see and resonate, sending hugs and love. And then she said, Kristen says back to Erin, thanks, Erin. It was great to spend some time with you and the kids. Now, just interacting and communicating, that's giving back. Look at what Erin did. She shared. Right there, the universe is already starting to line up and look at you going, hey, thank you. Thank you so much. Can you receive? Can you allow yourself to realize you're important and you want to put yourself and to be involved? We got 2 people that are going to a chance to win. It won't let me send 100. It says 99. Really? Well, you can send over if you want. That's up to you. Again, I'm not sure how to, I don't know how about that looks at the end, but you're taking the effort. You're doing. Thank you, Spirit, for lining up. I want a chance to put in this drawing. I'm going to find that alignment. What can you do to give back? What can you do? Trust me, you are so worth the effort. What about 50 and 50? Can you do it 2 lots? Yes. Can you do it in 2 lots? See, now there's an interaction. Now, if I've never read you before, which I don't know if Stephanie, if I have, but I gave you 1 minute, but if I've never read you before, I'll give you 2. But because Christine Collins, if you want a reading and you were brought by Erin, Erin's name can go in a drawing and get a chance to win. But you got to want me to have you read. So I give you 3 minutes and then her name would get to go in a drawing that says bring a friend. There you go. Close enough. 99 is good. We'll send it. Her name's in the drawing. So now we have 3 people in the drawing. So I'm going to give it 15 minutes. So a quarter after 12, we will take the winner. So you have 15 minutes to decide how much do you want it. And then what we're going to do in this 15 minutes is communicate with me. Talk to me. Share an experience. Do what you need to do. Talk to me. So, Kristen Collins, did you want to read? And have I read you before? Again, if you're new, you want a reading. This is about psychic healing. This is about not getting to your space. It's about, we have another person, Robin. Great. We have another person that has their name in the drawing. Thank you. This is about helping you heal. Hi, Nikki. How are you? We're playing the stars drawing game. So it costs 100 stars to get in and get your name on the drawing. What can you do to give back? So, like, for instance, what was I just talking about? Spirit just laughing right now, and I have no idea why it's laughing. Oh, Amber, thank you so much. Amber's like, all right. So then the question then is that if I give more, do I get my name on there twice, 3 times? I'll have to ask Spirit about that. Not sure. We have a wheel that we spin, and it helps us to determine who. That's a good question. We could save that for the next drawing too, or it could be a gift. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to restrict it. I've watched many, many people that sit there and they just ask all day long, what can you give back? And I want to have some ethics. I want it to understand this isn't about money, but it's about energy exchange. And if you believe in this work, I totally appreciate it. Because some people have believed in this work and does believe in this work, and they will send me money. And they say, I want nothing back. I just want to, this is a love donation to do. We have Marty. Marty, wonderful. You're in the drawing. You're wonderful. You're in the drawing. And Marty, I don't know if I ever read you, but that's awesome. Yeah, think of a gift as a great idea. So it's about this energy exchange, because when you feel hungry to want it, and we can also play and have a game with it, it makes it great too. Oh my goodness. Autumn says, with the help of Brenda and using Brenda's points in therapy, A couple of days ago, I said I want to die. I asked myself, why would I say that? And my answer is my 17-year-old self. Ooh, wow. And when I was in a lot of mental trauma and some stress trauma, and my eyes just switched, damn it. There it is. The stress trauma had a lot of invalidation. Ooh, look at, she's getting it. I did a point to calm it, but it would also know it and will take time to work through it. And yes, I did want to die, but today I don't. Yes, good job. You can keep healing and growing. Not the happiest, but I know I will get there one day. I will also give permission to myself, because it isn't easy living with mental illness, physical limitations, and learning limitations also. Yes. Okay, good. So what I want you to do is notice she just gave back by witnessing. She gave back about how she's learning what I'm saying. She's doing what she needs to do to help. By having her witness that, throw her ass in the drawing too. She can't give money, I know that. So throw her butt in the drawing. How do you give back? Spirit is an amazing thing. How can you give back? Energy exchange. We know how to do energy pulls. We know how to play that energy shit game, but do we need to? No. I was going to create a course that has to do with social intelligence, and it's about how to be a new human, a new spiritual human, how to communicate. And I can replicate that. I replicate that with many of my friends and my husband. And the one thing that's missing out of our relationships that I certainly don't miss is the building up of intolerance tube, the bitching, the moaning. We don't go in our corners and figure out, oh, I'm going to have to fight because this is the issue and we're just going to bury it. I know that, oh, there goes the issue. We're not talking about it again. We don't do that. When we are in an argument or we're out of sync, we notice it. We look and go, holy shit, we're not in the love space right now. Stop. We're out of sync. And we go in the corners, but we don't go and bitch and figure out how we're going to fight. How we're going to go in there and, oh, I should have said this. We don't do that. We put our hands on our head. We can communicate with the intelligence. And we begin to heal ourselves, or we tap, because we got many tools. But we're not going to sit there with our hands off our head and we're just going to bitch and moan and fire and wire and, oh, rev up and make that program worse. No, we stop. We're out of sync. Let's go heal. And then in matter of the turnaround time is all of a sudden we come back in alignment. And the issue was not really the issue. It was the emotions that told us that we have a freaking issue. I can't tolerate it. Therefore, I'm the one in charge. I'm going to make you let you. No, it's learning. As we begin to heal, as we begin to grow, we get closer and closer and we come more into alignment. When our issues are not in the problem, we remove those emotional baggage. It's a beautiful thing. So when you look, so see, Autumn says, when I have stuff like that, I go and do L1D or I karate chop it. She's talking about here. See, she's giving back. She's talking. Spirit has told her, how can we do this? Here, rock it. Let's dance, Carter. Exactly. You don't have to live like every other person out there, because when you begin to awaken and notice that you're a spirit first, and when you begin to be a spirit first, then you don't have to listen to your false self. You're an immortal being, the spiritual essence that came first, that has a soul that's a recorder. And you built this false self the moment you started to let those emotional chemical peptides and these thoughts go, oh my God, that hurt. And you invested and gave your life force. And then what did that do? That caused you to do what? Become your false self. You had to put a mask on, and the shadow self was born. The pain and the littles never got to grow. They are still sitting there waiting and crying and being in that space. But you have the ability to heal these no matter what age you're choosing. You can go heal those things. Remove the mask. Heal, and integrate that shadow aspect. Take and raise those littles. Let the littles go be happy again. Because you're the adult, you're here to help raise your littles. If I have never read you before, here's your opportunity. I give it to you freely. I want you to experience it. But those that have, yes, I want you to dig deeper now. Notice how beautiful you are and how much do you want it. Just by having these people participate alone allows them to have a 1-minute read. You are an amazing beings. Linda says, see, she's communicating. This talking, this communication helps raise the thing here. At first, when you start to allow yourself to heal, parts of you will fight you. Holy crap! See, she knows this. She's been healing. She's like, oh my God, I'm witnessing. But the moment you catch this, the moments, use the tool. Yes, because that's when you're beginning to awaken. Because when you do, you're like, oh, holy shit, I just seen it. Hold on, give me a tool. Give me a tool, whatever it is. She says it starts healing deep within and allows yourself the gift of healing. What are the benefits? Because she's, you guys have been with me. Now, what are the benefits? You don't even have to work for self-esteem. That's just this shit. It's like, oh, look at, let's take and clean this dirty house out. I didn't even know there was a gorgeous house underneath. Your self-esteem comes popping out. Your love just starts to emanate out. You have this integration that you're like, yeah, I don't need to play with that hell loop anymore. I got tools. I don't need to fire and water. Oh my God, I'm bitching and worrying. Hold on. I don't want that to be in my body. Let's heal it out. The feeling, the sensation. See, just by having her say that, I know that she knows what I'm talking about. She's in the game now to be able to get connected closer to her heart. And then she's going to start having heart-brain coherence. She's going to be in charge of her world. And no matter how many shit shows happen, she doesn't have to sit there and go, I hate myself. No. Oh, Spirit goes, see, we can heal that. Hold on. Get my pen. Ego, what was the shit show? Oh, yeah, look at that. This is how I know it's a 10. Shit, where's my tools? She begins to use her tools. She gets her life force back. She gets to grow. It's all because she made the choice of saying, I do not want to lose power and invest in this hell anymore. I'm done with that crap. Enough's enough. Oh, I see what my part is. Communicating and talking with me. This show is meant to be more than just show up and doing this. It's supposed to, because this energy, I can feel it. It's like we have to give back. How do we know it? How can we change it? How can we be? And you are an amazing beings. Again, I love my relationship with my husband and my friends because we can communicate and there's no pain. Now, if there's pain, they know immediately that there's a program and they lost power a long time ago and they want to go on a search and then they heal that shit out. I do too. I don't sit there and go, oh, yeah. No, I'm human too. And I pay attention to everything that happens. Right now, I'm deeply working on the physical aspect of my body. It's not just working out. It's not just stretching. It is understanding that when you do certain things, you can create a somatic response, which means if you pay attention and listen, but you use a tool along with the pain, mental, emotional, physical, you'll be amazed of how it doesn't own you anymore. The turnaround time. I wondered why my screen wasn't moving. It was stuck. Amy says, self-esteem grows as you heal, and so does your confidence. And it's amazing. The things that you didn't think that you could do, you're doing, and you're like, hold on, who's doing this? Oh, it's me. Oh, that feels good. I was told not to be proud and toot my horn, but that feeling good and loving the fact that I just did it, you need to toot your own horn to yourself. You have to become recognition as that. That's what joy feels like. That's what confidence feels like. Oh, taking pictures. Oh, I could be a model. Oh, look at that confidence. And my brain is taking pictures. My body's taking pictures. And I know I can take myself there again. I haven't said your name in a long time. Is it Vashti? It takes the time, and sometimes there are setbacks. Absolutely. But if you know there's a setback and you can wake up, this is what I call a wave. And when you wake up and you come back, as long as you keep coming back to center, it doesn't matter how many waves you're doing, you can keep turning it around and you're going to get stronger and then you're going to heal and then you're going to be amazingly be on top. She says, there are setbacks like forgetting where you put the tools. Yes, there are a lot of deep chronic things that happen. And when you're in the thick of it, you can't even think of a tool, but this is where you begin to train yourself. This is where you put sticky notes up. You're in a shit show, OMG it. Fine. You're over there yelling at your name, your little signs. Don't tell me what to do. oh my God, how do I know? But when you learn how to be your spiritual self, watching yourself go through that experience, you start to notice, I have the power to help myself. But you got to wake up and notice the two mindsets. She says, then you learn, wait a minute. I put the tools in the same place where they were easy to find. And that's usually like, where the hell did that go? So you can have a little comedy in it. That's awesome. Amy says 3.5 years ago, I was never do lives on TikTok. Now she thrives. Woo! I got to do something. TikTok, I'm going to go do this. And she feels alive. She allows herself to be her. She only had one setback when Spirit brought up and said, hey, let's heal some shit, and brought up her person that was they were trying to tell her how to run her show. And she got caught up in that energy, and she didn't realize that she had morphed into this part of this person. And then when she did, she woke up. She's like, oh, I ain't doing that. That actually is part of what triggered the issue that you had the other day. Yes. Amber says, I even said that and recognized it was my shadow self. Right when I walked back into the door, I let the same co-worker get me right back in the same energy field. Ooh, it's been so long since I've been taken out of the character like this. I feel like the respect everyone had for me is gone now. Here's the thing. If you understand that you get to write the show, you go heal that shit out. You own it by going in your space and going, you know what? I'm going to heal all the kaleidoscope of perspectives. I'm going to heal this angle. Oh, how these people look. And you begin to heal these different things. And you take your experience of your energy back, not trying to go left brain, these details, and I'm going to make it big, and I'm going to solve it, and I'm going to keep my hands off my head, and I'm going to do this. And then it creates more shit shows. Go in. Okay, I'm out of sync with everything. I could run there and go crazy, or I could say I'm out of sync. Timeout. I'm out of sync. I'm going to go heal this. And as you start applying and communicating with the innate wisdom, you begin to heal out those chemical peptides to the point you get resolving answers. And if you're looking going, oh, they lost respect for me, that's a fear. So then you measure that and you write that out, you measure that, and you keep healing out and you keep healing out. And what happens is you begin to rise. Your spirit self takes its power back off of the immortal being, takes its power off of something that's not mortal. Or out of being mortal. Okay. It takes that energy off. And then you become more your spirit self. When I say you rise, it means you're starting to remember who you are on a spiritual level, and you begin to rise out of all those false selves. And that's where the phoenix comes in. That's where you are learning how to burn up and change and die off all that you need to. And you begin to rise, not because I'm a phoenix. It's just that part's done. But you have to take your energy off of the shit and let it go. And as you take and you heal that, the ego part that says, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. No. Your emotional chemical peptides resolve. And you literally begin to change who you are. And you rise. And those are the benefits that come without really, really knowing that you had to work for it. You didn't. It becomes a natural process. Forgiving becomes a natural process. But you'll have boundaries then. You don't have to play with these shit shows with people. Yeah. Autumn says, I asked Spirit to put a magnet on my head. She has a physical issue. And so what happens is that sometimes you have to learn how to use your intention, learn how to use your imagination, learn how to connect with that part of yourself. And if you can begin to see it, feel it, heal it, and believe it, you will heal, you will change, and you can get progress because it's the power of belief. Good job, Autumn. It says, okay, so we're going to ask you to make up the wheel. We won't take any more coins in, and we're going to take and do it that way. Lily is here sharing the love rubbing on the phone, sending her kitty loves. Oh, that's cute. So also every single person is human. Exactly. Sometimes we when we slip back and fix things, we model for ourselves and others, and it's okay to have that time. Exactly. Very good. We get back on until we mistakes less and less, it's success more and more. Yes. See, and that's the thing. When you begin to take your power off it and resolve out those emotional chemical peptides, you begin to zig and zag. You begin to rise. You begin to not be the same person. When somebody says, well, I've changed, which means they said in this 2 minutes in their mind that they're like, yeah, I don't swear. I changed. And I swear I didn't ever change. And then they won't realize that they need to heal the program, the roots, the emotional chemical peptides that caused them to do that. And I'm just using swear as an example. It's not a bad thing. I'll say, fuck that, That's okay. But you don't have to do it in a negative way. You can learn. But anyways, when you heal that and they're trying to convince somebody that they've changed because they want that person back out of desperation, that you're waiting for a bitch slap to come and smack you, because you're not seeing the fact is that you're already whole. And if that person's not supposed to be in your life, you need to heal and love without attachments. It took me so long to figure that one out. How do you love without having attachments? When you're little, Spirit says, I need to talk. I've never seen so much love until healing with MWS. Oh, I love it here. I love it when you're here too, my dear. Give me a second here. Spirit is going to talk for a second. So how do you love without attachments? How can you have things without having attachments? So when you're little, you're being you, and all of a sudden you're told that that's wrong by somebody you love. You give up on yourself and you put on a mask and a shadow. And then you go over and you attach yourself because you don't want them to take away the love. And so you become this codependent energy instead of knowing that you can heal that out and grow. So now you have love and you're like, I can't live without you. And it sounds so beautiful, right? No, because then all of a sudden it can be very codependent to the point where one person can drain another. And when you can learn how to love without attachments, without expecting anything from that person, you're not going to be putting all that pressure. You have to show up this way because I need happiness. No, it's my job to make myself happy. And if I lose somebody, then I can still love them and I can heal the pain and go on and accept that that's what they want. I can accept the fact that maybe they died. I can accept the fact that they've grown. But I can heal it here. I can love without attachments. I had all these things and they were important to me. And I put them in this building. I was going to open my business and it burnt to the ground. And all I could hear was, oh my God, my dreams. And I healed that. And all of a sudden I looked around and go, look at all the stuff I can't replace. My certificates, all that stuff. A lot of people that have already died. I can't get the certificates. I've tried. And I sit there and I noticed my ego was dwelling on that. I healed that pain out. I am more than my attachments. I am more than those emotional shit shows that come through. I am more. And by healing all that pain, I can hear the dead. I can talk to my mother. She gives me gifts. It's amazing. It's beautiful. You can love without attachments. If it breaks, you don't have to go, oh my God, I put all my life force in there. It's so sentimental. You can have sentimental things. And it can be this refresher of love. But you don't have to die without it. What did she just say? You don't have to die without it. You don't live. You actually are dying because you don't have it. But if you can learn to take your power off it and learn to appreciate you've had this, you can begin to live. And you don't have to be attached to it. Do you understand? You can go, oh my God, I had this in my life and it was beautiful. And now I've got it back again. Like Reface, this app. I didn't think I'd ever see my mother come alive again, but then I put her face onto somebody that has her hairstyle and my mother came alive again. Spirit will show you how to have love for the things you have, even if you never can touch them again. You can love without having attachments. You can be you when they can't be with you. You are an amazing being. You can do this. You can heal. And it's so important to begin to understand that. Did that make any sense? You seem more grounded. Yes, this is one of the things that begins to happen as you begin to feel that you are more grounded. You don't feel empty, missing. You feel more whole. You are an amazing that way. And when you begin to really allow yourself to be in that space, you are going to be dancing with joy because I remember I had so many fears. Oh, I can't let anybody see that I'm happy. I'm supposed to be crying. I'm supposed to be upset. I'm supposed to be this shit show. I'm supposed to be this awful thing. Am I? Is it true? No, it's not. I don't have to. I really don't. You can be joy. You can be joy. And then that's a beautiful thing when you can be joy. Because when you are joy, you are knowing that you are hardwired for joy, and suffers in an option. When you learn how to heal out the suffering, and that was just an option, and joy starts to flow through you, you're like, what? So you can choose to wake up happy. You can choose to wake up in love. You can choose shame or guilt. Oh, I should have died. They shouldn't have. No, heal that shit out. Your ego is in pain. You don't have to be in that shit show. You don't have to. You literally can allow joy to be you. You can allow yourself to be this an amazing being. But you got to first realize there's an immortal part of you that never dies. I don't care how many personality you have. But if you can connected with that, you can start letting love flow through your heart. And you start to heal and grow and thrive. You've got this. Reface was amazing. It was just so beautiful. There's my mother again. And it's like the people that I could never see again. It was just by accident we started going on to it. But my mother, I think, our mothers, Amy's and my mothers, were present and made it happen. Marty says, I'm an empath and I have been focusing on my own self-esteem and self-worth first. Excellent. It's time for me to heal. Absolutely. I had a minor setback when my husband took ill the past 3 weeks. Sending love to you and his soul. I can tell you right now, most souls will just transition in the space of love just before they die. It's only when fear tries to stop. He transitions to the kingdom of God on wow, that is fresh, July 10th. Wow. My love is with you. My heart is with you. I understand. And whatever you need to do, understand, you just turn and say, thank you, Spirit. And if you need the extra love in the middle of the night, turn to the grid and say, my name's on that love. I'm going to receive it. And then you're going to be able to bring it in. Now the spirits are telling me to refocus on me again. Yes. So I'm moving forward on healing myself. Love and light. Good job, Marty. Good job. Good job. Vashti says, I grew up in poverty and I'm currently working on learning money is not bad. Oh, you see, that's the blueprint. See, that's the old paradigm. Good job. Good job. And I do not have to do without. Oh my gosh. Yes, Vashti, heal that out. Any belief, anything that has an emotional root, anything because these programs that we download, they're blueprints. We didn't know how to walk until we watched and observed. And we don't want to lose that ability, but we can change how beliefs that were somebody else's, we can change those out. And money is just energy. If I have more money, I can learn to give more. My daughter is working on this too. And the thing is when we realize the belief systems, the things we say, oh, we can't have it now, we just don't have enough money. Change it. Hey, you know what? We're going to put it in the budget. I remember my kids, I'm going, hey, I'm going to show you, because they want to gift. I says, is that Christmas or your birthday? And sometimes it'll be, look at Spirit was giving you this, that it's about love and it's about just because. And just remember, I love you no matter what. Here's a kiss, just because. And so you don't put it on just the material things. You put it on everything. And you don't have to feel like every time you go to the store, you felt that loss that you didn't get something. Put your hand on the head and heal it. Help your kids. You guys are growing. So proud of you. So proud of you. Okay, so I see that now we're going to take and I'm going to go open up my thing and see if the wheel has arrived. I need to get my butt moving. I'm just so I knowing the how do you want to put it? The allowing the space of oh geez, I don't even know what it's called. Allowing the space to change and reset and transform to be something other. Look we got these beautiful comments. All of these beautiful things are happening. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Oh, okay. So, all right. So the next time you take a picture of, when we do this, we got to be able to, let's see. When you begin to. Okay. I can mute it. I just got to make it bigger. Oh, how do I make it bigger? Oh, the wheel. Oh, I can watch it, but I want you guys to experience it too. Why? Here we go. Open another tab. Let's see if that's going to happen. And it didn't. Where did it go? I don't have a clue how they open it in another tab. Do this one. No, that ain't it. That ain't gonna work. My God, I forgot how to do it.
And you begin to take your power off it and
Hold on. I don't remember how I did this. Oh my goodness. How do I get show? No. Save? No. It had no problem opening it before, and now it's not even allowing me. No, I don't need to cast it to the TV set. Okay, brain, spirit, how do we make this happen? How do we make this happen? I did make the picture bigger, but it's you don't need to read all the other stuff that's private. So that's weird, because I say, okay, yeah, open up another tab, and it doesn't. I mean, it literally doesn't. So that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Yeah, but we want the video. All right, Spirit, make this happen. So I'm just going to tune in and say, thank you, Spirit. Show me what else I need to do, how to resolve this, allow it to happen. And Spirit is telling me that I can do this. And I have no idea what this is yet, but this is where you trust and allow yourself to, where do we want to do? Search. Oh, I see they changed the setting. So, because before I could do it. Well, I don't want. I have no idea where to send it to. Because it says send to this. I said, sure.
And you begin to take your power off.
Okay, now see that if I make it big, then all of you see everything that's said here, and it's not what we want. Picture in picture, that just makes a small one. Wonder if I can make it bigger. By 2 inches? No, not any bigger than that. Then that means I'd have required to do what? All right. Spirit says do this. Let's see. No. You don't need to see my junk. I thought that was a wrong idea. Oh, that's not going to work. Hey, when it casted, you guys didn't see my back stuff, did you? I will trust that. You won't see the crap I have on my wall. That might be what Spirit's trying to get me to do.
When you begin to...
Yeah. If we go here, and I go there, and I say this, and I do that, let's see what you guys get to see. I can't make it any bigger. That's my only problem. Okay, well, let's see what we got. What do you mean back to tab? No, let me have it. Oh, that almost worked. Well, anyways, you can see all the names are there. It worked beautifully. They changed the settings somewhere. I had it figured out last week. Anyways, we'll just have them spin it. I really wanted you to be a part of this, and so that you could see how, nobody was just picking and choosing. It was part of a random thing. Okay, hold on. Let's try it again. Let's I'm gonna say, because it had no problem doing it yet last week. It was like easy peasy. That didn't work. Oh, Gotcha. Got
When
ya.
you begin to
Thank
take
you,
the power off
Spirit.
and resolve-
Told you. I didn't hear it the first 2 times. Third time I heard it, I actually seen it. Okay, so here I've got it, people. Thank you for the support from Spirit and all of you guys that it can be done. And we're going to share the screen. There we go. Now let's get this up here. We don't need the volume, so I'm just going to mute this. Okay, so here we go. So right now we have Marty, Autumn, Robin, Amber, Amy, and Linda. And I think, so here we go. Let's play it out. A little lag there. Oops. That was so quick. I want it to stop right there. It's not stopping. Let's try it again. It's just not cooperating today, is it? And it's not, it's right there. Oop. Oh my God. Okay, I need to watch this one. Okay, that doesn't, okay, so we're gonna have to figure out how to make it more clear and a way to make it stop. I'm going to go in and look at it to see who actually won one because it's not coming through. It could have been that. I could have done that too. I see that.
When you begin to take-
Oh, be quiet. See, it makes it bigger here. I got to see where it stops. And right there. Amy won. Can I make that bigger? No. Nope. Okay, well, Amy won because the ticker stopped right there. We'll have to learn how to perfect this. So, Amy, you won. 1, 2, 3. Ah, it was 1, 2, 3, 4. You like my clock? This is a South Adelaide, South Australia. It's 76. I'm getting a little warm in here now. Okay, so that means I did look at the names on the side. The trouble is that it doesn't stop. It loops back around. So I have to get that last second to where it lands. And I saw that it was Amy, and then it highlighted that it was Amy as well. So we'll have to perfect that and play with it more. So I'm going to get the link. And if we like this, if we can always do it again. We can do a couple in a day, and so it's, we can keep playing. I will do some reads before I bring her on. If you're new, you haven't had a read before, I can give it. So I just want, again, I don't know if I've read you before, and if you're still here, Marty, then I can give you a read. If I haven't given you a read before, then you can have up to 2 minutes. So the first person I'd like to give a read to happens to be Crystal Allen. And there's something about in it, there's an inferiority complex. And there's always this doom and gloom. You got to first recognize when you see it, because it's not giving up. It's not giving up. This energies are there, and it causes you to go up and down. You literally need to focus on that. There's a part of you when you think you're not driving the bus, you've gone in and you started thinking, and there's this fear and this phobia that something's going to repeat itself. I said, what is going to repeat itself? Aggravation, aggression. So if somebody's going to be really aggressive to you, and you know that they're going to be aggressive, or there's a fear of being aggressive, grab your left wrist, go 2 fingers in. So that's L2, and then you're going to push in deep, L2D, and begin to hold. And anything and all things about the story of aggression, allow yourself to know you do not have to be in that pain, but feel it, know it, get the pictures. If it's there, move your eyes around, just start healing it out. Okay. Left wrist, second position, deep. Okay. Get into the healing state of this, because you can do it. You can do it. Let me go over here and let's see what we have. And we're going to allow Amanda Gibbs. And they said, when you begin to notice that love can be your tool, then it's going to help you see some hidden stories. So when you're approaching something in life, just start looking and say, okay, I bring love to the table. I feel the love. Okay, I got some love. And then you say, thank you, Spirit. And what's it about? And they go, notice how you feel secure with love. And at some point you had where love was not there, but an invalidation, which caused you to feel insecure. They said, it's time for you to now start to not allow yourself to be overwhelmed. You were overwhelmed at the time and you just go there and be overwhelmed. But you can say, wait a minute, how do I know overwhelmed of this whole story about I have to shut down? I have this invalidation. They said that they want you to hold L2S because it's about how you learned that because you couldn't take and control this feeling, you learned to control out here. And we want you to now say left wrist, second position, soft. And for her, this time, for her, she has to hold the thumb soft. This is what you can do. And now we're going to go to Miss April Lynn. And Miss April Lynn, as we begin to notice this, you notice there's some absent-minded thinking. And I says, her? And they go, no, this energy in this space. It's like it's kind of contagious, like a cold. It's like when somebody is in that space of feeling absent-mindedness, somehow you do pick it up. And without realizing it, it makes you start to feel sad because you've seen when somebody was absent-minded before. And they said that you were taught how to feel that you were supposed to not give empathy to those people, that now it's controlling and affecting the way your future is. And they said they want you to begin to heal this because in a way, as you're starting to break away from those old personalities, you feel this weakness in you. Somebody said, well, if you do this, you're going to be weak. And it's not true. So allow yourself to begin to heal this out. And they want you to do left wrist third position, nice and deep. Okay, that's for April Lynn, because you're ready to take and heal this out on a very deeper level. Kind of ask Spirit what to do. You're welcome, Amanda. So Nancy Burke, we're going to say what's going on. And they said self. You've been feeling that the more you become you're becoming vulnerable in a safe way, but you're also, so that means there's a certain amount of strength. But there is this particular part of you that says, when I feel vulnerable, I'm supposed to run away. So when I'm being me, I'm supposed to run away from being me because, and they said that this is where you had, because you can't deal with others because people don't understand you. And so they can't deal with you. So they throw their shit around. And so therefore you think being me, you can't be you because you're going to have to hurt people or you're going to have to be condemned for that. Take and re-listen to what I just said because there's a yearning inside that you want to move forward, but you put self-imposed limitations saying you can't be based on what I just said. They said that you're ready to heal this out because you don't have to overcompensate when you're being you and they feel like you don't do that. And then you have to overcompensate because of the reaction. They want you to stop that. That's right wrist. First position, pushing deep. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. And then Miss TP, Miss Wonderful TP. As I'm looking, I'm seeing there's a certain amount of emotions or lack of emotions. And I said, what's happening? I see all this joy, but you can't, there's a lack of emotions. And it's like, so you're putting on what does that mean? Well, I was always shamed. I was always spoken to with shame language. And so I put on this mask and made my shadow self. I said, seriously? And they go, yeah. So I have this phobia that if I start to shine, then I immediately suppress myself without realizing that if I were to really shine, I wouldn't have to, it may not be the same result as I had before. Oh. And they said, so I get up and I'm happy and I show that part, but that's actually my mask. And yet I feel the joy, but I'm still hiding me. And I said, okay. I says, what do you want to do? I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel safe being you. And you don't have to play these old games of shame. So when you start to feel that you're being you, pay attention if you hear words or thinking that other people are shaming you or that you know it's coming because it's time to say, no, I'm not doing that. R3S, healing shame. Hi, Tammy. How you doing? So just going through and looking at how we can help people heal. And Amy won a free drawing. Well, she donated 100 coins, which is $1 per drawing, and she won. So did I just do Linda or did I just do Teresa? Wow. Linda, you got a hiccup. If I don't think I read you, but all of a sudden I see this hiccup. And I don't get it because there's a part of me wants to just go, oh, go to the next person. So what I'm looking at is like, in this case, like if I clicked on Linda's name and it's not highlighted, oh, then I must have read her. So it's about doing steps. You did TP, so I thought. Now, so pay attention, Linda. This is part of your thing. So I know you're a busy woman and you have all of these beautiful children. And do you oftentimes think, oh, did I just do that? Or didn't I just do that? Or you thought you did it, but you really didn't do it because you were looking at the cues of going, oh, it's not highlighted. So that must means I done it. Or do you understand what I'm saying? There's something there. That's what they're talking about. And then you're over there. So this particular is actually a symptom. If you're doing it, hopefully you're paying attention to when you do it. And you say, okay, stop. I'm going to realign. Just keep saying Linda love, Linda love, Linda love, and saying your age. And then just ask spirit to recenter you and say, even if I didn't do it, I'll do it again. But if it's certain things like when it comes to medication and things like this, they said, calm yourself down, put your hand on your forehead, calm yourself down, and let spirit run the show. They said to really notice if you do any of that stuff, that you can't be confident. It goes back to you can't be confident to know how to line up going, yeah, I know I took care of it. Okay. But you're out here going, oh my God, I don't know. And then everybody watching, oh my God, what could happen? So that is what they want you to heal. They said, because that's something that you don't need to do. Because they said that it goes back to how somebody in your past made you feel worthless because you did. She said she can relate. Okay. So they said they want you to begin to get in charge of when you see it and you're like, stop. I don't need to go there with anything. I'm just going to go right wrist, third position, nice and soft. I'm just going to sit there before I go and I judge it and I try to recreate it and I cause myself to be frustrated. I'm just going to calm everything down, take a deep breath in, call in spirit, recall my name, and then make a decision because you can do this. You can do this. So that's what that one's about. Okay. So Autumn, what we're going to do is that there's a part of you that said self. Okay, so you're looking at your memory and there's an active memory. So there's an active memory. And they said you were looking and contemplating yourself. You've been healing, but there's an active memory. And this active memory kind of governs. So it's in charge of how people would say things to keep you around. So it's the feeling that they didn't know how to act. So there's a part of you that didn't know how to act. You didn't know, you want to keep people around or you want to keep things around. There's something about this feeling that you have to be attached. And it's about how relationships are. And they said that there's a part of you that it's time to let go. So you're going to do R1S and it's time to let go. And they said, let go of feeling petrified. So it's R1S. Let go of feeling petrified. So I've got this petrified feeling that if they're gone, I'm going to do it. Or I have this petrified feeling if I go to my own, somebody is going to be left alone and I'm going to have to be beat up for it because somebody literally didn't want you to grow up. And I feel like this is connected to that if they thought that you were going to die when you're little, then they were going to hold on tighter. And that feeling stops you from actually developing. And I think that's to do with with The Secret Garden. If you ever watched that movie, it has something to do with that. They're bringing that up. Do you understand? Okay. So now we have Krista with a K. Krista with a K. What we want you to understand is that it's time for you to feel love again. And this heartache that you've been having is you're using the heartache as a coping tool. Oh, I got to work on that. And so you go back into thinking of this heartache. And they said the heartache it's time for you to take that heartache and stop building reality, stop building something out of that heartache. It's time to heal the heartache and they want you to take your will out of it. They want you to get your will back. So left wrist, first, third position, get it right. Left, 3, soft, L3S. And sit there and think about that, measure it and heal it out. Begin to heal it out. And yes, anything else? They go, no, just really feel it. That heartache's got to go. And it's not even healing up the heartache as much as it's about how you self-soothed with that heartache. I don't remember what I said, Autumn. So you're saying I think 1RS, I think you meant Spirit. What is the one thing that I had said to her? Yeah. Where did you want her to go? Spirits tell me another story. What are you doing? Just give me the answer. She's addicted to disbelief. She's not believing in herself right now of what she heard. So then, okay, so that makes sense. So you about self-soothing. Is that what you wanted to heal? No. Well, so I'll say R1S, and then they said, yes, relationships. So right wrist. So R1S, and that's about the second chakra. It's about how do you keep them around the home. And so that's where they want you to go is R1S. Okay. So now we're going to take and have Miss Nikki. And Nikki, what you got is, we're doing nothing again? Is that what you're literally saying is I'm doing nothing? Oh, well, thank you for the conversation. Let's find out what else you want to know. And they said, well, in that space, I'm working on a little bit of despair. And this deep mortification of shame that literally locks me down. So are you aware of the shame? They said, it's about dealing with people. I don't deal with people. And they said it's about when you're 6 years old saying, I disapprove. I don't do this. I don't deal with people. And so your 6-year-old seems to be part of running the show. And it has to feel this despair. And it's ready. What are you ready? You're ready to what? I'm ready to notice that I used criticism as a way of being critical so that they would shut up. So they're telling me there's a certain way that you would have control. And that's, so you look at it. So if criticism's that's fine. And so I remember these bullies were picking on my friend. And so getting them to see something else. And the only word I can remember that I used is you belittle to some degree. And that's what I've learned was to get them to think and get them to move and get them to stop doing what they're doing. And I wouldn't do that today. I would communicate with them of helping them to find something else or resolving it out. That's what I'd help them to do today. But back then, so there was a strategy you did back then, you to help you to conquer that despair. Okay. So Anita, fine, it's Anita. Anita, you have this about myself, and I'm learning about my intention, and I'm learning to really know when my emotion and inappropriate emotion comes in and starts affecting my world and starts building false realities. And it's such a big lesson that I'm really incorporating of learning that these bad memories that can resolve out. Well, that's good. And they said that I would put no emotion and feeling into them. Into what? When I felt unsafe. And then I would copy and do what other people do. And that is I'd make them, oh, so you're doing the same thing. Something about I'd make them feel overwhelmed. But there's a part of you that realizes that I don't want to do it and I don't want to receive it. And if you can begin to notice that action, you're ready to say, you know what, I really believed that my heart was going to be crushed. And I felt inefficient because I was small or this and that. She goes, but it's not even about that anymore. Oh, so you're moving to a different epiphany state. They want you to do L1D. Okay. That's good. That's good, Nita. That's a good report. Okay. Nikki says, yes, the hell loops is what I get tired of. I'm started emphasizing and getting sucked into in them, and I want it to stop. Okay. Source point. I'm so glad you're in the class because you're going to start to address that. We're going to learn a lot on Tuesday, or Wednesday my time, Tuesday your time. Okay, but we're going to get there. You will be amazed with yourself once you start to notice you can be in your shit shows with this one and make a big difference in your world. You really can. And it's just fine tuning you guys to get into that streamline, because it's really important that you do so. Okay, so we're going to take the winner. And what we did is that we're adding to this is the ability to play the stars game. And that is to take the amount of stars that you give and put them in a drawing. So 100 stars get you into a drawing. Now, I so far it's been very successful. And we're going to allow ourselves, and I'm going to shut that heat off. The heat is a little much for me. Yeah, let's just shake that off. Okay, there we go. A little much. Oh, I get to see what I look like from behind. Yeah, hang on to that chair, Brenda. That's funny to watch that. So I sent the link. Did it go? I'm not sure. Yeah, she saw it. She saw it. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys to just bear with me, and I will be back in just a moment. And you can read all about me. There's so much I haven't got on there. Here it is. I'm back. And here we go. So I've been lifting weights, and we're on a different program. It's a building program, and I just did 95 pounds, and I did it 20, or let's see, how did I do it? I did 18, and then I did 12 because I had to pinch my back, and then I did 19. You know, imagine that. Wait till I do 100 in a row and 125 with 20 in a row. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm awesome. I'm better and better every day. And I focus on what I want. So you have won, my dear. And at this point, I'm not sure how the show works. So we're just going to run with it. I just got to pay attention to the time. But if we go over, we go over. This is what we're going to do, because this is part of the segment. It's not about just your expedites. Do you have anything that because we want to highlight source point. So do you have any aches and pains? Do you have any shit show feelings? Do you have anything you want to work on your ears?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So not enough energy worked in going through the ears. Now she already knows this. And I just want you to really take a second to focus on your ears and how you know it physically, and notice the pictures. Notice all of this. What's the first thing that comes up about your ears?
They've been ringing since I was 7. I got what is it, an endoscope?
Yep, an endoscope, to a camera to look inside her ears.
And they're where my ear molds stop. That's where they start getting really like red.
Okay. So write this down. Unrequited love. Okay. Compulsion. And self-imposed limitations. Now it's funny because just prior to that, I had picked it up and I said, what do you have? What was the first thing they said? And it says it's stress. So her cells in that particular part of her ears is holding stress. And so that means that the cell replicated itself, created a sister cell, and the new cell doesn't have, it has a new blueprint. So it has the old blueprint, the potential of healing back there, but it has this new blueprint that keeps it going. So the stress. And I said, why the ears? Because somebody was very hysterical and you became very petrified of what you heard. And what it did was it fractured the self. So put fractured self, hysterical. We're going to look at 3 years old, and it became a conditioning process. So as we look at this, we notice that her ears, now on source point, we don't have to do the investigation, but that's just a normalcy. That's how I do things. So how I'm going to ask spirit in a different way. So those that are in source point, pay attention. So, okay, we're going to take the ears. That's about the intention. We're going to look at, we know there's not enough energy moving there. We can even ask. So I'm going to find out, how do we want to heal it? We want to first, they said, well, it's not about healing as much as help to understand and then to address it. So tell me what's going on. What's the first meridian? The heart meridian is the first meridian that's affecting the way the ears hear. And I said, and that goes where? Long back to heart. So is any other? No. So the heart really is in charge of how she hears. I said, how do we want to heal it? we're going to go to the gallbladder, and these are both sides, and they're both locked. So you're going to get your magnet, and you're going to follow your pinky toe all the way up until you're in front of your ankle bone, and you're going to use your magnet across it, and then 12 times, and then you're going to push in and rub. Deep penetration, people. That tells you how it's not about rub-a-dub-dub, but it goes in. You're going to do both sides.
The first time you said that in class, I just about busted again.
But it makes you remember.
Yes, and the person that you were talking to, I mean, their eyes just about bugged out.
Yes, it is kind of funny. It's how we do things. So as she rubs and takes care of them magnetically, remember, the heart is the issue. Then why are we working on the gallbladder? Because in order to understand that the energy moves and elemental state, we have fire represented by the heart, and wood needs to fuel the fire. And right now the energy is not coming from the gallbladder going to the heart. It literally is like in a stuck state. So this means that when we look at the meridian, when it has to do with a story of the past, she has her meridians will go off, her heart will, the whole pattern will show, and the body starts to transform itself into that moment that she reacted, experienced, and still is. So now we had to train the body to get better, but we first have to unlock it. So it's an unlocking aspect. And I said, is there anything else? Oh, Jesus, what the hell happened here?
I don't know.
No, I didn't touch anything. You guys didn't see it. Okay.
Fine.
No. Here's the weird part. You know that wheel that I had? Okay. So out of the blue, it just popped open and started spinning. And I'm like, okay, so Spirit's got my attention, and it's about how energy moves. And I said, is that telling me it's because she tripped something? And good, she's taking care of it. So now we want to do what? Now, it's not just the meridian that's going to help, but it's also the stomach. So on the energy aspect, the gallbladder needs to send the energy up to support the heart. And then at the same time, the stomach, which is the earth, needs to receive from fire. And it's not receiving from fire. So her stomach meridian still is involved in it as well. So then we're going to go and we're going to do both sides and both magnets and both on the stomach. So you're going to understand that it's not at the curve, it's right on top. So it's so close. It's so close, but there's a point there. But I want you to lay right on top. She's going to use the magnet 12 times, and she's going to rub it. Okay. Now, what's this going to do? Again, it has to do with, hello, David. How are you? It has to take care of, see there, it's opening. Because now she can feel, she'll feel the energy shift soon. Now, does this mean she can have a miraculous recovery? Yes and no. Because the sister cell was born, it's going to take some more chronic. It's going to take time. But if she puts her mindset on the fact that it's already, she can hear again, and that it's and the stress is no longer there, that means we have to do some more healings besides one. Is there anything else we need to do? Now, if I were to look, is the heart affecting her ears? Not as much, because there was a story behind it. It just got locked into the heart. So I said, what's the best way to help her heal further? And they said they want her to understand that you were so used to that growing up, the loudness, the hystericalness in the household, piercing your ears. Mm-hmm. And the way the gallbladder was involved is that you emotionally repressed. The way the stomach was involved was that there was an obsession. And I said, you couldn't stop hearing that? Yeah. What couldn't you stop hearing? And it was being muddled, the stress being muddled. This is why you stepped up as that little girl to do the best. Let me help you. Let me take care of it. Let me sit you down. Let me. Okay. That's the only way you could cope. So you're kind of addicted to that behavior. So you had somebody come on your show, blah, blah, blah. You end up doing a reading, or they did a reading for you. It triggered off the pattern. And then it happened to why you had that issue the other day. Okay. So it is how we're now looking at this pattern of this little girl you had put on a shadow self in order to create life, to be able to survive it. Okay. And they said the biggest thing for you is learning to hold L1S, because you've learned that if you have to give up on your expectations and you got to focus on everybody else's and how to solve their issue.
Mm-hmm. Makes perfect sense.
You want to make sure you do L1S, okay? Because the reason that she wants it is so that she don't hear them being muddled. She doesn't hear them being hysterical. She can't ever go there again. Her body's saying, no, 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 no. I don't want to hear. Now, when she gets ready that she doesn't want to hear how somebody talks to her or talks, then see, this is the distrust. When she gets ready, then she can start doing R2D. Right now, it's like, oh, I don't ever want to feel this ever again or hear or experience this ever again. So she's created a whole other world. And that is how we're going to help her evolve, is that she's got to heal this part backwards. So I asked if there's anything else you need to rub at this point, and they said no. Now, I'm going to ask you, do you feel anything different just by unlocking that story?
Second, I can tell you.
And it's not that it has to be a miracle, but it doesn't mean it can't be.
Yeah, they aren't sore. Because normally if I just go like that, it's sore. It's not.
Okay, good. So that means she's allowing flow of energy, the chi, the electromagnetic energy, to begin to flow through, which is excellent. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and I thank you for the donation and wanting to do this for yourself.
I know what it was.
Ooh.
That happened. Because you said it was 3, right?
Right.
I have a feeling my mom got hysterical when my brother got sick.
Yes. There's that shrill of her voice.
And slipped into that too.
Mm-hmm. And you hear it. You hear the obsession. You hear the hystericalness. You hear all of this because you heard the pain. And one of the things I'm hearing is that who came in to try to solve it all? It was you. This is where you learned how to program yourself of saying, "Oh, I see that. That's what I'm going to do." Mm-hmm. You've seen it. So who came in the family to always try to swoop in to resolve it, to take care of it? Did she have a bunch of people that come in and gave her food? Did she have grandma? Okay. And the thing is that to you,
it would have been his 57th birthday.
Okay. And so tell them also the miracle that you got because you've been doing all this healing. So her brother, she lost when she was 7. And how did you heal, or how did you react before you began to do any of this healing when his birthday would come around?
Well, it's in my Facebook memories, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, something like that. I was sick today on the 17th. I would feel like shit. Wouldn't know why, because it wouldn't dawn on me. Because for a long time, I didn't remember when his birthday was, and then I finally looked it up to find out.
Ooh.
And today, that memory came up, and it's like, oh, it's his birthday. So I put a message on Facebook saying happy birthday in heaven and blah, blah, blah. And I noticed as I did that, I didn't get teary. I didn't want to cry. It was like, happy birthday, bro. Other than it was like, I have throughout the years often wondered what he would have become.
Right.
And I put that out there, and I didn't get teary. It wasn't, oh my God, it was for, hey.
Okay. So just so people understand, because they may not see the little things that I can see, she didn't nonchalantly go, hey, everything's good. It was, she's measuring how for years, because she's 50 and it happened at 7. And every year her body was getting sick and she couldn't remember his birthday, but she kept always getting sick. And then she would be a little sad. Would you be a little sad? Okay. Yeah. And before she started 3.5 years ago, it would be all about the pain, all about the loss. Would that be the story, or would that, or you being sick would be the story? Which story popped up to be in your world?
More being sick, because I didn't, I couldn't.
Right.
Couldn't connect to that.
Okay. So now, have you been sick since you've been healing? Mm-mm. So as she healed those particular memories and those emotions out, the benefit is that when the birthday rolls around, oh, it's the birthday. It wasn't, I have to get sick because my body knows the time, and I don't have to go into fear and worry. I don't have to do any of these things, and I don't have to feel the loss. I don't have to feel the sadness. I can register the fact that there's great love now, and I can go, oh, happy birthday. I can look at it. And if I really wanted to, I could probably learn how to communicate to talk to him. Okay, so you guys played together a lot from what I can see. And he says he's making funny roses. Now, did he take dandelions? Did he do something?
He would take dandelions and he would,
Okay.
the butter game.
Yeah, that's what he's doing to you right now. I was trying, because he was saying, I have some dandelions, and he was trying to put them as a bouquet, but then he would take them apart. And it's like, no, it's not really a bouquet. What is he doing? And then, of course, I seen some yellow, not thinking. So, yes, because I said, you can learn to talk to him. And of course, then he appeared. So I just watched him appear. So he's looking forward to have a conversation with you if you've ever wanted to have one. Okay, so like if you're sitting in the chair watching TV and all of a sudden a memory pops up of something funny you guys did, let the giggles on. Just turn it on, let it flow, and just say, "Oh, bro, I know you're here." You don't have to have a full blown conversation unless you're good at it. But otherwise, just let those feelings of joy and a memory to pop to make you happy, instead of crying. Oh my God! And later on, you'll learn how to receive gifts when it's your birthday from people, from the loved ones on the side. That's a unique, fun thing to do. But anyways, thank you so much. She has learned to heal and to grow. She's no longer in pain, and she can look at the loved ones, and now she can be open to receive more. So that's good. And before you go, I just want to say, Robin says that really resonated with me. She says, my right ear had been tender. I did the unlocking and the points, just like I did along with Amy. And with the tenderness also eased. Thank you. So you can work with each other, and we can, if it resonates, then yeah, it's not going to hurt anything to help out. All right. So we will talk to you later, my love, and we'll talk, you got a good job. Thank you for witnessing. Turnarounds grow. Yeah. All right. Bye, hon.
Bye.
So there's an opportunity to grow here. There's an opportunity to do many things. So if you just talk to me and communicate with me, we will get to be where we need to go. So the show can be long or short. That depends on all of us. So I've been on since 11. So 11, 12, 1. It's about 2 hours. I'm got to move this over just a little because it doesn't show it on there. And when I'm done with this show, I'm going to go on TikTok and do a show on there. Okay. Yes, I have Clapper going. If anybody that's watching in Clapper that wants to have a reading to understand how to heal something, how to look and address something, stop the shit shows, you're more than welcome to ask. I will do that because that's a new platform and we're learning how to give and to communicate and to grow. Okay. So thank you for the shares. Thank you for the love. Tell me what you guys saw. Communicate with me. What did you guys see? What stood out for you? Robin was able to tell me what stood out for you. Why did I go into detail? Why is that important that you begin to learn to see it? Tell me why. One is to recognize that you can have turnaround times. So what is a turnaround time? Talk to me. Let's find out if you're ready to grow and to do what you need to do. Because we really want to see you guys evolve. And with the economy, the way the energy exchanges, the way that the transitioning of the shit that has to rise to the surface, we can switch you back into a timeline of healthiness and love, and you can start creating from that heart space, which changes you to go into something higher, something different, something more joyful. And that's what you're going to want to do in the long run. Instead of feeling you have to fight back, you have to do this, you have to do that. Okay. So what can you do to earn a reading? Well, you can put your names in drawings. You can have an expedite, and that is you pay $24 for 8 minutes, and usually it goes over anyway. And that puts you in a drawing for a chance to win 30 minutes free with me. Then there's the stars. And I've noticed that with the names, you have a second chance for a drawing. So all the people that have given stars today, put your name into a second chance. So that means the first of the month, you have a chance to win 8 minutes with me on the air. So not only do you donate or put in money to get a chance for the drawing during the show, you put the money in and it actually gets you in a second drawing. So we learn to recycle that one. Bring a friend. As long as they get a reading, and we know that it's about bringing a friend, they can have more. They can have 3 minutes, but your name also gets to go to a drawing for a chance to be on the air. And sharing it out. Right now, from what I understand, I still can see some people sharing it out. So I think we'll keep that around for a little bit longer. Okay, a little bit longer. I have to see what this is. Hold on. What is this thing here? Oh, well, it says that somebody has an appointment today, but I don't see them. I may have to leave. I didn't see anybody pay for it. They confirmed it, but they never got back with me. So when you set an appointment, you may not see that I have the times of opening. Talk to me and we'll figure out a time. But if you want to do it, make sure you pay ahead of time, because you have to pay ahead of time, because I could be sitting here all day waiting. So I've learned that I don't see them. They haven't contacted me or nothing. So I don't think it's a go. So we're going to go talk about to Patricia. What can you do to give back? Let's see. The reading in this case is that we're going right into the word critical. So there's something about critical thinking. So yes, changing the way you think, because if the left brain is to take the details and then make something out of it and make a bigger picture, you may be making false realities. They're saying the critical thinking, you notice that when you're thinking, you put self-imposed limitations. You limit yourself from growing. And that part of you is starting to feel bitter. So you have disappointment and anger. And this is the energy that's coming out and going to the universe and giving back. When I'm looking at this, there's a certain amount of exertion of power that is necessary for you to move forward. But there's a part of you that feels like you're always going to be attacked. We really need to address that. You feel like, I know I'm being attacked. And this is that exertion of somebody else's power as well. You got to really look at that. I know I'm being attacked. L2D, left wrist, second position deep. Okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing the person. I did not see them pay. There's no signs of whether they did or. Oh, that's fine. Oh, I'm not seeing it, so letting it go. Okay. So Nikki says, a turnaround time is when you get yourself out of hell, only measuring your experience and not comparing it to others. Big one. That's a big one. Builds momentum to want to grow and evolve out of the old patterns, habits, and beliefs. Yes. And when you start to be able to put that into your space, you will be amazed with yourself that you can actually grow. Okay. What else is there? Spirit has said that really needing to look at a very particular word. So what word is it all of you need to begin to learn? Is that there's a weapon. And in a weapon can be used. And he says, pay attention to how one speaks. Pay attention to how one speaks. And because when a person is using words as a weapon, then you're going to react. If you've been controlled by people who use words, you'll have a compulsion to respond and not even know it. So you don't even have power to control it. But you have to begin to wear. How do I want to explain this one? I was married before, and what happened was that he knew exactly how to say, how to act, how to be, and it would trigger me, and he used it as a weapon, and it would trigger me, and I could never understand. I could feel it, and I'm like, I don't like this. And it's compulsion. Why am I doing this? I physically just doing it, and I don't want to do this. And once I started to pay attention that the key word in this situation was gaslighting. And so that my body was like, wait, what? And I'm like, you supposedly love me. And I've been ignoring it because I love you. And yet I've been now watching how you do things to get what you want, to shame me, to do whatever you're going to do. Really? Yeah, no. And I love myself more than that. And I started to understand about ego and how the gaslighting worked. And did you know that they have a medical gaslighting? That's when you go into the doctor and the doctor gaslights you about your issue. I didn't even know it was a thing. And so, words. She said, Amy says, I did my show and the stroke come on and expected me to be in shock, and I didn't get to. I didn't respond to the troll last night on my live like he expected. He was shocked. Then I didn't. Then that I didn't get it. You can. Some people are waiting. That's how they feed. You don't have to give them any response, and you don't have to be stewing and brewing about what they said, because you don't have to put value in what someone says, because it's not true. Once you start to wake up to the pattern and the program, you're like, I don't have to give my power away. I don't have to react. You learn how to heal those things out of you. Okay. Okay. You guys are awesome. You are great. And I thank you so much. And I thank Nikki and Amy for really putting it out there of helping me to advance this movement. And I appreciate it. I really do. So if you happen to make a video or a thank you of gratitude, or you make a collage, a montage of whatever it is that maybe me, and then you promote it, great. Nikki has come up with some unique stuff, as so they send me a copy. I put it up on my page so that it promotes a little bit further, and we can make a difference. We just have to get our heads together, but it's momentum. It's not a one-off. So both have been diving in, because they know that the more that they dive in, they change their inner world, the outer world changes. And the more that they take action in the outer world to make it change, then the inner world will change. So they're really getting into this wonderful rhythm of allowing themselves to receive more. And when you give back, and when you do things, you can make yourself, you don't do it to get back, but you do it because it's about helping you get on your hell space and get you excited, because you're on a mission, and you can do it with love instead of having to be in a mission on other things that can be nasty. You learned how to do love. Thank you for the donuts. I haven't had breakfast today. So if you're here and you want a reading, or you want to understand, you're not watching by accident. You can allow yourself to dive in of how to learn how to heal yourself, how to stop your negative thinking, how to stop these shit shows. And you don't have to have those negative words hurt. You can heal it out to the point where you can take out that investment. My God, my phone just died. Well, that goes. Dang it. That's okay. That's okay. We just start her up on this one. That's why I have two. It's funny, as I run Clapper, but Clapper ends up taking a lot of juice. And I even plugged it up differently. And it's okay. I'm just going to let it shut off on itself. Okay, guys. Okay. Zoom, yes. Okay. My phone died. Just so that people know that. You guys are great. Thank you for coming and sharing. Remember, I'm on YouTube, and you can watch all the old videos again. Re-listen to your readings so that you can address the details. I can't tell you how many people go, you don't need to listen to that. You've healed it already. Did they? Because you're convinced that you've healed it, and then yet you're doing it, but you're saying, well, I've healed that, but yet you're still doing it. You just turned off the ability to see that you're still doing it. Awareness helps you understand. You're not reinstalling it, which is how some people's beliefs are. You never uninstalled it. You were just trying to convince yourself you did. You need to heal it out so you really can create change. And when you really create that change, you will take it to a whole new level. Create the change you need. Create the change you need so that you don't have to be in a hellish state. Okay? Alrighty. We did a great show today. You guys are awesome. Remember the hashtags: resolve to evolve, heal instead of deal, Hashtag feel it to heal it. Hashtag, hold on. Randy says, I'm new. Thor sent me. I have a minute, please. No, you get 3, Randy, because 1, Thor brought you. 2, you're new to me. And so you get 3. So you're curious, is that, should I go to California? Or is there a better third option? I think you can tell that Thor has been working. So the idea is about the fact, should I move? Now we're going to take that word and I'm going to say, you know, it's spirit, what they are saying. And it is, so when you're here, wherever you're living, is there something invalidating you and that's governing the way that you, I must stay around. I must stay around. So what is causing you to feel like you can't do what you want to do? And that is what they're saying they want you to address, because it isn't creating that stable part of who you are. And that energy stops you and makes you feel overbearing. When I'm looking, I feel that there's something to do with unworthiness. No, I feel another person is completely present, and I feel that that energy in your space feels very mucky. If you healed this, then do you want to move? And I'm getting that your the energy on the outside has been calling you. So I feel like you have been being called to move. Just like when I was called to move to come to South Australia, there's a part of you that kind of feels like you know it, but it actually sometimes make you feel overwhelmed. So then you lock yourself down. So if you play with me, Randy, take a look at the fact is that I'm indecisive. Should I move? And then measure that. Put it on the scale from 0 to 10. And then I want you to take your right hand, go under the pinky of your right hand. See, it's not on the side. It's right there. And I want you to push in and rub. Randy, what's going to happen is I want you by rubbing certain points on your body causes the energy to calm you down and help you get clarity. You want to know if you want to go to California, I can feel that there's something calling you, but something is also holding you back. So just rub. And then after you do that, okay, and then when you've done that at least 30 times, slide to the karate chop point. Okay, just slide. It's just above the crick. And then you're going to push in and you're going to rub again. And again, notice, should I move? And it kind of doesn't allow you to have clarity. So just rubbing these points, pay attention. Just keep rubbing those points, pay attention. And once you've done 30 times, okay, you're going to have to rub this point again, because the body is saying that it can't do what it wants to do. So I feel a limitation. So just rub it. Just rub it. Now, in this case, they want me to tell you something. And it says, your dreams that you want to do, the things that you want to do, you feel like you're inefficient. And then you go into, I can't be confident because I don't want my heart crushed. So when you get done and off this, you take your left and you line up the left by lining up to the first point. Put your finger in the first point and push in. And then you hold your finger here, wrap these 3 around. As you're pushing in, take your palm, drop it on your forehead, and drop your hands and sit there. And feel how you feel like you're inefficient. Feel how, I can't be confident because I'll get my heart crushed. Measure it. Let the body do the healing. Then Randy, report back to me, because what's going to happen is that when you do this, you're going to start noticing that you already have the answer within you and you're just cleaning the cobwebs out of the way. Okay. Vashti. Yes, my dear. All right. Vashti, what I'm hearing is that you can't figure it out. You can't figure something out. So I feel like this is kind of like sitting there. You can see it out in something's happening in the arena of life. So the osculation, the environment. And then you're like, I can't figure it out. So you're sitting there, and where do I fit in the expanded importance of self in this environment that I'm in? And all I'm hearing is that the old way is that there was some guilt tripping going on. And I said, is this kind of what it is you want to clear up? Yes, because I need to begin to hear how people guilt. I need to hear how that would push a button on me. and how it affects my security. And they said that if you take your right wrist, once you start to discover, especially when somebody says it, and you're like, that's guilt, then right wrist it. So take your right wrist. They want you to go down third position. And they want you to place your thumb there nice and soft, Vashti. And then you're going to sit there like this. And you're going to go, oh my God, I feel insecure. You know, as soon as I hear guilt, I can feel how my body gaslighting. There you go. There you go. Yes, yes. Because your body and you want to self-soothe the stress. So that's a very good thing. Take certain things, measure it, and sit there with it. We got to get the body to feel like, oh, I don't have to do this program anymore. Okay. I'll turn to the room one more time. If there's anybody else in the room that wants a reading, let me know. If you're new, Randy says, thanks. I'm getting a yes. The doors are open for yes, that's what I got, but you can't see it. So even if I told you yes, there's a part of you that has all of these commitments or all of these old things, but you just didn't want your heart crushed. I want you to just step forward even a little bit further and just make sure you heal any other qualms. If you feel like, oh, I'm second guessing, hold L1D. Okay, Randy? Because you don't have to feel all those programs having to stop you. I felt called to come to South Australia. Hi, how you doing, David? You want to read it? Let me know. So when I was in Michigan, I kept feeling this energy, and it felt like this energy cord. And I'm like, oh God, that's a new path. And I knew a path switch was coming. And it just started to go in that direction. And I'm like, so then I look in the map and it was like, oh, I'm supposed to go to California. And then they're like, no, she's not hearing it. And they kept making it stronger. And all of a sudden it was, oh, I followed a little, Hawaii. Okay. And then, no, that wasn't it. And all of a sudden I thought, Australia? I would have never in my dreams have even thought of Australia. Well, I don't know anybody in Australia. And it was not true. I did. The man I'm married to now, but I had not remembered because we hadn't talked in so long, right? And then all of a sudden, I am here today because Spirit had already told me I was doing a path switch. And so what I asked is Randy in a path switch? Yes. Is Randy's path going to California? Yes. So can he see it? And it was like, not yet, because there's all of these conditionings, and this is why you heal, so that you can see it. So sure, cool. Okay, was there anything particular, David, that you would like to address? Okay, because I'll give you 2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes if there's anything that you want to address. Because when you're not, when you're sitting by yourself, I'll look up if you change your mind, but I'm looking at how there's a certain amount of resentment that's sitting on your shoulders that are really how somebody else life love. Okay. So like, for instance, you may not have resentment towards somebody, but somebody may have resentment towards you, or you're sitting bunch of friends that talk about resentment, and it just seems to be a topic, but you can feel it in your shoulder. So I don't know if you lift weights or any of this, or you have problems with any of your shoulders, but I feel like this sits there. There's something to do with this energy on this side of the body and as I'm looking a little bit further, they said that you can feel that sometimes you're like, oh God, why are they doing that? And that's a form of a grudge or ill will. You're like, oh, now not that you were aware that that's happening, but you're beginning to notice the person I think somebody was in your life was pissing you off. So why does this have to do with anything with love? And it means that you have a lack of power. There's a part of you that says, well, this is what happened in the past. It could happen again. I don't really want it to happen again. What am I supposed to do? And I said, okay, what don't you want to happen again? They said, it's about feeling worthless. I want to go into a relationship that is not about feeling worthless. And I said, all right, how would you want to heal that? And they said, I just, sometimes when I'm in a relationship, my creativity becomes stunted. And so now you're doing an old program because I'm watching, because they're saying, you have to compromise. There's a third option. You don't have to compromise, and you can actually heal your shit instead of having always being in this fight. But there's just this part that you're like, your body's going, I don't want to go through it again. No, I don't want to go through it again. So your body is saying that it keeps bringing up those past stories. It's affecting the way that you feel. And you should have learned from it last time. And then there's a self-talk that goes on very much. And I said, well, what do you want to do to change it? And they said, well, you need to create an interrupt. And usually with an interrupt is where you can use EFT, or you can Does any of that make sense, David? Because if it's not going to connect with you, then can I engage any further? Well, I could, but yes, it makes sense. So we need to create an interrupt so that you can allow yourself to cause your brain to feel, what do you want to call it? To get clarity. So stuck in that circle. Okay, that's why they want to interrupt. They want to create that interrupt. So take your right wrist, and I want you to follow it all the way down to the top. See, it's not on the side. It's right there on the edge. And they want you to just take it and push it and rub. Just like that. Right hand, right wrist, right there and rub. Now, don't slide it across. You need to penetrate. Yeah, he's a man. He knows what that word is. So just rub this. Okay. This is, and do it 30 times in a row. And then usually when it comes to the heart, the counterpart or the partner of the heart is small intestine. So they're saying that also needs to be rubbed. So it's just above the crick. It's right at the fattest point, and it's the cardiac chop point. They want you to rub that as well. But again, how do you know it changed? You got to measure. You got to measure to see what is the difference. And when you create different parameters, you will begin to notice it, and you'll begin to take charge. Now, I said if there's anything else, they said no, not just by doing those couple things. If you've done them, respond back to me. Did you notice anything different? Because how you knew one way, and you go and you change the energy, and the body starts to work with you, you'll start to have clarity, and you'll start knowing something different. And this is where the wisdom comes through. Marty says, I have 20 years vested in my current job next month, but I don't feel I get the respect and recognition I deserve. Should I seek new employment or talk to management? I'm going to tell you, don't do any of those things until you heal the story within. How you know your life at this moment, you do not need to let those chemical peptides affect you. So once you start to heal that inside, then you begin to rise and you start to go after that, and you'll automatically know exactly what to do instead of going, It is the healing of that. So what would I tell Marty? And they want to do a disrupt, actually, because I said, do you want to do a healing? They said, well, they need to do a disrupt. And I said, so Marty, if you were to take and go to your right ankle, okay, so the right foot, so in the right, we're going to have you go down to your pinky toe, so the outside of your legs, follow until you get to the front of your ankle bone, and put your magnet or your hand like this. Magnet can be a refrigerator magnet, something that you have two sides with. Doesn't have to be strong, or you can take your hand. And you're going to do that 12 times. 1, 2, see? So you do it 12 times, then you get in there right in front where the squishy part is, push in and rub. And 30 times. And you'll start creating this disrupt because you're going to get that thing unlocked. And then you're going to go from there, and then you're going to be holding so that you can get more clarity as L3D. Because you're putting you can feel it. You kind of feel small. You feel just like what you described. And then you're going to go left wrist, find the third position. Okay, Marty, put your finger down here, put it nice and deep, finger here, wrap around, forehead, drop. And then ask your question that you just asked. Listen to the emotions, listen to the thoughts, keep it there until it's 0. 10 being, this is really bothers me, I'm not sure of the answer. And then focus on how you know that feeling, and then that starts to go down to 0. Stay there until you get an answer, and you're going to, whoa, you can resolve it. So David, did you do the little thingy I asked? Hopefully you did. You can see and measure the difference. So sometimes when you first start out, you're like, I don't even know what the woman's saying. Vasti says, you're talking about my issue again. And if you hear that you resonates, whatever I'm telling you for other people, use the tool on yourself as well, because pretty much we have these emotional patterns that are pretty much the same. Now, there are times that you have to use something completely different, but at the same time, you can take and use something if you hear it, because there's a chance that it'll just start to help your body's energy move and clear it up. You're setting your brain waves back into a very healthy state. You're welcome, Marty. Keep healing, keep growing. So if there's anybody else, let me know. You're welcome. And remember, how can you give back? How can you do the energy exchange? How can you do it? You can follow, you can get notified, you can share, you can, do stars, you can witness, you can talk, you can do many things. Okay, it's time for me to go. And I will be back for my show on Wednesday, Thursday. Wednesday if you're in the United States, Thursday if you're in Australia. Now with Clapper, I'm going to take a break and then I'm going to come back on and we can go from there. Double checking. I'm trying to figure out even where somebody says I sent you an email and I'm like, yeah, I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it. I'm trying to figure out where they may have sent it to. I've got several emails, but I'm not seeing it. Vashti says, it was nice being here again. Oh, I missed you too. I missed you too. Thor says, can I ask for 1 minute and ask what stone should I put in Bo's collar? All right, Spirit. This is what we'll do because there's so many different stones and I don't know whether or not you have a lot of these stones, but we need to have a variety in my head going off. And I'm looking for my stones. I don't know why I just don't put the stones in one area. I may have, and I may have forgotten. Oh, here's some. Give me a second. Okay. All right. So if I were to say, what stones could you match up with stones that she has for Thor and what she might have? So one of the things I'm hearing is if you find some amethyst, okay, if you get some amethyst and put it for stone for Bo, another one that would be good for him, can you give me another alternative? I know she doesn't have that. One for what stones I should put in obsidian and lava. Hold on. Believe it or not, if you have a certain kind of ruby, I know you're like, but that's more of a gem. No, serious. You can do that. And then would obsidian help? They said in this case, it helps with playing out certain things. Does it end it or help play it out? So it kind of supports certain things for that one. And is that obsidian lava if we're going direct? Oh, it does help with the frequency and it does make it go up. So as long as you have that, yeah, you can put that one in. If you got stones, it'd be easier sometimes. If you have a little citrine as well, that's very supportive. Amethyst, citrine, obsidian lava. If you got that, like I said, a little bit of ruby, that can help you out. I froze. Okay, so do you have amethyst? Yes or no? You have ruby. If you have any ruby, yes. If you have any citrine, yes. And the one that you asked about, yes. The obsidian lava, yes. Those ones I can feel that would be very beneficial. So you're making him a little collar or something. That's kind of cool. And I don't know if she has that, but do you have a serpentine? Do you have a serpentine? It's really pretty. It's serpentine. If you have that, that really feels flowing for Bo. Yeah. Okay. Citrine, amethyst, ruby, and then the one you just talked about. Sure. Yes. And if you had serpentine, that sounds like a serpentine. Because in this case, I'm going to look at okay, so one of the things about the serpentine helps with the clearing of thoughts and better to facilitate meditation. So when you have this around, he has that cloudy thinking and all of this other stuff because he keeps readdressing that particular thing in the past. It might actually, I think the citrine might actually help do a protection between your energy and his energy. Yeah, helps not to absorb my energy. Exactly. That's where I was just going to. Also, serpentine. Excellent. Started with an S. Serpentine is Serpentine. So Randy has rocks and makes it awesome. Excellent. But yeah, that's good to know. Okay. And if that's it, then I will come back in a few minutes and go on TikTok. Let me see where we're at. Okay. Now remember, there's you get to be in charge of life, learning how to be responsible, learning how to heal your shit in the past so that you have that energy to create your future. It is so important that you do this. Okay. Yep, that's how you spell it, Thor. So remember, when you begin to stick with me and you keep healing using the tools, you begin to understand when I say to resolve to evolve. Hashtag heal instead of deal. Hashtag feel it to heal it. Hashtag what's my other hashtag? Oh, I can heal that. A lot of times we don't think we can. Yeah, you'll let me know it works. That's wonderful. Thank you, Thor. So when in doubt, even if you're in your shit shows, just see if you can grab, I don't care, either hand, start applying it to your head. Letting your hand drop on your forehead and let your fingers drop. The point on the top of your head, the hairline, and these 2 points here are amazing when they work together because you can help you tap into your innate wisdom. And you can do something about it. You can be amazingly do something about it. Okay. All right, guys. Remember, you're already blessed. So stay blessed. And I'm going to hold the space for you and do your best and have a happy healing because you are so worth it. Okay. You're so worth it. So I will contact you soon. I'll be back as soon as I'm done eating. And same for YouTube. I will be back in that soon too. Okay.